second baseman, number 1, Riley Unroe. Hitting 3, wearing the right jersey tonight, your shortstop, number 6, TJ Bennett. Hitting in the 4 hole, he's big and he's got big league experience. Your designated hitter, number 32, Donald Lutz. Hitting 5, 1/2 of your Bash brothers. First baseman, number 3, Wade Dutton. Hitting 6, your third baseman, number 51, Shu Ji Hong. Hitting in the 7 hole, one of your local hometown boys, your right fielder, number 29, Ryan Hoof Battaglia. And back into your Bandits lineup tonight, hitting in the 8 hole, your left fielder, number 10, Mitch Ellis. And rounding out your offense for game 3, your catcher, number 22, We do not have an Australian Baseball League game without 3 officials. Please welcome to One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. Third base umpire, Jody Picker. First base umpire, Paul Latta. And the boss tonight at home plate, Mal Mackay. Ladies and gentlemen, your umpires. Please be outstanding and move your caps for the playing of the Australian National Anthem. About that, fans, we're underway. The Pine River Rapids.
Good day, everybody, and welcome back to One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus, and this presentation of Bandits.tv. After a victory 4-1 in Game 1 of today's doubleheader, the Curran Cove Brisbane Bandits look for the doubleheader sweep and a spot in first place atop their division. With Travis Blackley, who got the win in Game 1, I'm Eric Bramer. Thank you for joining us again on this warm evening in Brisbane. Travis, Game 1, you were part of it. That was exactly what the Bandits needed to get back on the horse after a tough loss last night.
Yeah, you're right. You know, and I felt that before the game. Really knew that I needed to set the tone for the boys, and I knew they were going to start hitting sooner or later and really put some runs up there. So, you know, just try to, in the hot day, try to get ahead, stay ahead, and get up and out of there as quick as possible and let him work in the sun. Both teams got in the air conditioning for a couple hours, now back out for a full 9-inning ball game.
and Tim Atherton gets the start. Tim's been great so far this year. What does he need to do to have success this evening?
He needs to just work ahead, keep pounding the zone, keep him on the back foot. He's really good at that, he loves his riding fastball with a really high spin rate. Guys find it hard to get on top of him, so, and then obviously mixing in that secondary pitch and really keeping him back and forth.
Atherton, in his 7th ABL season, is actually a former Sydney Blue Sox. He pitched for them in the 12-13 season. On the year, he is 1-0 with a 2.25 ERA, 12 innings pitched, a batting average against of less than 200, 186. He has been outstanding through 2 starts, and he will face a lineup for the Blue Sox that begins with Dwayne Kemp. It's followed by Gift Ngope, Jacob Eunice, Trent D'Antonio, Zach Shepard, Michael Campbell, Shen Hao Wei, Joshua Dean, and Alex Howe. Atherton, fastball from 89 to 93 typically, a big breaking pitch, change up and a cutter, but the fastball is his bread and butter. He has such great spin on that pitch, he can throw it pretty much anywhere in the zone. Yeah,
he actually likes to pitch up in the zone. The guys have trouble getting on top of his ball, gets on him a lot quicker than they're expecting. And, look to him to use that quite a bit during this game.
Both teams got a good start in Game 1. Travis, you delivered 5 innings of 3-hit shutout ball while striking out 5. In relief, Cameron McVeigh and Luke Van Meel went the rest of the way. For the Blue Sox, they only needed 1 inning from their bullpen in defeat. Luke Wilkins went 5 innings, allowing 5 hits, but 3 of those were home runs. And then Craig Anderson with a solid inning of relief. Dwayne Kemp steps in, right-handed hitting second baseman, was 0 for 3 in Game 1. And then in Game 1 of the round on last night's ball game, delivered the game-tying single as part of a 2-hit evening.
Yeah, good pitch inside right there. A bit unlucky not to get it, but he'll keep going at it.
First pitch at 6:05 local time, a temperature of 29 degrees Celsius with wind at 4 kilometers from the northeast, blowing out as usual to right field. Kemp gets a pitch up and sends it high and deep to left field. I beg your pardon. Kemp flies out to Ellis for out number 1.
He did a good job of getting up on top of that ball there. It was up and in, and hit it fairly solid. But I think he might have got in on the hands a little bit there because it didn't seem to jump like you'd expect on a ball like that, swing like that.
Mitch Ellis gets the start in left field, flanked by Campbell in center, Battaglia in right. Shu at third, Bennett at short, Unrow at second, Dutton at first, and De La Calle behind home plate. A little bit of a different look for Dave Nielsen's Bandits as they face the left-handed starter, Nick Fanti. Gift Ngope was responsible for the lone Blue Sox run in Game 1 of the doubleheader, a solo homer late in the ball game. He takes strike 1.
Yeah, looked in to try and work a count here after a 2-pitch out. In Game 1, he came out swinging first pitch and grounded out to short, so he might want to see a few more pitches and try and work a count here.
Ngope was 1 for 2 with that home run and a walk. Pitch bounced in the dirt. Good crowd on hand here at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. The 1-1 pitch misses high, 2-1.
Yeah, looks like he went with the cutter there, just didn't quite get out front with it. But, early days, you're still trying to find your stuff. Warming up in the bullpen's one thing, but once you get out there, you got a little more adrenaline. Just trying to find that little cutter, and, we'll see how it goes. I think he's going to go back with the heat now, though.
The 2-1. There's the heat, and there's a swing and a miss, 2-2.
That's what I was talking about, that ball up in the zone, especially away right there. It's just so hard for the batter to get their barrel on the top half of that ball to try and make good contact. And he really does get a lot of swing and misses at the top of the zone.
Ngope in the very back of the batter's box, digging in on the chalk line. Prepares for the 2-2 from Tim Atherton. Lifted foul, right side back and out of play. Different umpiring crew for Game 2 of the doubleheader. James Shields had the plate in Game 1, and he will get Game 2 off. Mal McKay, the crew chief, calls balls and strikes. Paul Latta is at first, and Toby Pinder joins the crew at third base. Atherton from the wide. Got him.
Just muscled it right by him right there. You know, I mean, he's a pretty good fastball hitter, but you know, you don't face too many guys with that fastball that gets on you like that. You know, I mean, especially when it's only around the 90 to 93 mark. You know, it's not like facing Van Mill bringing 98. It really gets on you fast, and just look at that, just right by him.
Skyfleet Hino strikeout, first of the game for Tim Atherton. That brings up Jacob Eunice.
Quality hitter in Eunice, very good at getting on base. He's a tough out, really is. One of their toughest guys in the lineup. Not a huge power threat, but can sneak him out here and there. But he's generally just trying to shoot gaps and get doubles.
Pair of singles in game one of the doubleheader. Delivered the game-winning bloop double in last night's Sydney victory. Sun setting down the first base line. That'll help the temperature a bit when it goes down. The 1-0 from Atherton. And this is just inside. We were in the air-conditioned broadcast booth for game one. You were out on the field. Tell me what that was like.
Yeah, she was a bit warm. You know, it's quite humid and obviously up above 30, and it's never easy when you're in that kind of condition, but oh, good cutter there. But, you know, it's one of those things where if you can work fast and get off the mound and make the other pitcher wear it out there, you know, it should work to your advantage. And it was a bit of a back and forth between us. He was working quite quickly, even though we managed to get a few runs.
The 10-pitch, 3-strikeout, fourth inning probably was the moment that you thought, what am I doing against this guy? I just got into the dugout, now I'm going back out.
Yeah, you know, he kind of threw my own plan back at me a little bit there. I just come off a long inning, worked out of a bases-loaded one-out jam, and, you know, was I literally only had about one mouthful of water, and I had to turn around and get back out there. So
the 3-1.
Nice pitch. Ooh.
Missing inside a 5-pitch walk, extends the first inning and brings Trent D'Antonio to the plate.
Yeah, I think a bit unlucky there. Two of those pitches looked like they caught the corner inside, but you got to know your umpire, and that's one of the part of the zone that, from experience, Mel doesn't like to give that inside corner much. So, you know, he might give you a ball off the plate away, but he don't like to give it to you in. And I don't know if that's the way he sets up behind the catcher, or where maybe the catcher's mask or back of his head's kind of blocking that corner. But yeah, it's quite frustrating at times because you need to pitch inside in this ballpark to the righties.
D'Antonio 0 for 6 with a pair of walks so far in this series. Atherton pitching from the stretch for the first time. First offering dug out of the dirt by De La Calle behind home plate.
Yeah, a bit of a misfire there. You know, he's again trying to find his rhythm, and this is what we go through in the first inning. I think people think you're at your best in the first, and really I don't think you find your groove till the third or fourth. You know, just trying to get that timing down with that front foot before you start firing, and that one there, it looked like he started to fire before his front foot landed, causing him to scud it into the dirt.
2-0. After the 5-pitch walk, Atherton having some trouble finding the zone.
Yeah, he made a little bit of an adjustment there. It was slightly better, but he needs to just hold back a tad longer. But yeah, he's going to make that adjustment, you know.
He hits the mitt, and there's a called strike.
There it is, you know. I'm actually surprised Trent didn't go after that one. I mean, he knows as good as anybody. Atho likes to throw a lot of fastballs, and, you know, you could have bet your house he was going to get one there. And, yeah, middle in, kind of center cut, and he didn't even take a hack at it. So it just shows you the respect he has, you know, for how good that gets on you, that pitch.
Missing up high, another 3-ball count. It's 3-1 with Zach Shepard waiting on deck.
Yeah, unlikely to see him take that same pitch now if he were to get it.
Runner goes, Atherton delivers, and D'Antonio lifts it foul out of play.
And that's what you see a lot with Atho, man. Defensive swings in favourable counts. You know, that right there, a good count for him to try and lean back on something, and he gave it a little slapping swing the other way. I mean, it's a part of Trent's game. He uses the whole field very well, and hopefully we can keep him quiet. He's one of those guys that generally is tough in the lineup, and we've kind of done all right against him in the first 2 games. So hopefully we can continue to do it.
Eunice will take off, and the 3-2 is lifted shallow right down the line. Out is the second baseman, Unrow, and he makes the catch in fair territory for out number 3.
Yeah, good pitch right there. Got it in on him in 3-2 and kind of jammed him up a bit and, get out of the inning.
2-out walk does no damage. The Bandits are coming to bat.
Can't you see my heart is lost without you? And your kisses make me love you more. And your kisses make me love you more. Can't you hear the sound of love and desire?
Starting pitcher for the Sydney Blue Sox is a lefty, Nick Fanti, just 21 years old, out of Smithtown, New York. He's in the Phillies system, and he won't be with the Blue Sox for the entire season, but getting some winter work in here as he prepares to build up his minor league and maybe eventual major league career. That's a situation that you've been in, Travis. What's the mindset when you go into starts like this, knowing that your time in this league is limited?
Yeah, you want to get the work in. You know that your organization back in America has taken note of everything you do, and it's important to you to put up some good numbers and show them that you're going to be ready to take a jump to the next level. I'm not sure, where did you say he played last year, in high A?
He's in the lower levels of the minor.
Lower levels. So yeah, this is a much stronger league than what he would have played in, and especially our lineup, a lot of veteran guys. He's going to have his work cut out, but I mean, we're left-handed heavy, and I don't know what he's got, but if he's got some good out pitches against lefties, he might have a good night.
It's a different look for Dave Nielsen's lineup. It begins with a lefty, Andrew Campbell, who takes ball 1 outside, followed by Riley Unrow, TJ Bennett, Donald Lutz, Wade Dutton, Shu Ji Hung, Ryan Battaglia, Mitchell Ellis, and Danny De La Calle. Notable absences from the lineup: Goofy Sutherland and also Daniel Nielsen. Sutherland homered last night, and Nielsen delivered a homer earlier today. So that's some pop out of the lineup as the Bandits go for the lefty-righty matchup. Two-one lifted in the air, right center field. Campbell calls and catches, retiring his last name counterpart for out number 1.
I could be wrong there, but I believe that was a changeup. I thought I saw a wiggle from the catcher, and I was a bit surprised to see a lefty-lefty changeup this early in the game, but you might have taken it out of my book right there. It's something I like to do. Not many lefties like to throw that changeup, just because if you're down and in for a strike, that's a pitch they seem to run into quite a bit. So, impressive to see him go with that early on.
Fanti on the season 0-1, an ERA of 4.5. He delivers a called strike to the switch-hitting Riley Unrow, who has now spent about 48 hours in Australia from America. Still looking for his first hit, and as he tries to shake off the rust, Dave Nielsen says, the more at-bats I can get you at the top of the lineup, the sooner that rust will be shaken off. 0-2 the count.
Yeah, I was here 3 years ago when Riley was on the team, and man, he lit it up here. He really did. I don't know his exact stats, but he seemed like he hit 400 and no homers, but he was on base all the time. So look for him to be like that later during the season.
Missing low and away, it's 1-2.
And I believe he was in A-ball actually that year. He's coming off a year in high A, and now he's touched Triple A for a little bit, but spent mainly in Double A the last year. So he's a lot more veteran style hitter now.
Unro's first season with the Bandits, the first championship season in this run. He tries to beat out the infield single, and he does. That's one way to get your first hit of the year.
Yeah, Riley loves hearing that he was coming back, you know, inject a bit of speed into our lineup, you know. I mean, he didn't even get out of the box straight away right there and was still able to get there. Oh, he had to, yeah, pitcher kind of got it caught in his glove on the flip, so. But yeah, I mean, he's our one real base steal threat, and you know, getting him on base, which is what he did 3 years ago. He's going to make the pitcher have to, you know, be a little quicker to the plate and maybe take him out of his game a tad.
Here's T.J. Bennett, who homered in his first at bat this afternoon. Missing. Fitting to have a lefty pitcher up here. Fanti, as a lefty, falls off on the third base side of the mound, and just that extra 3 or 4 feet that you have to travel to get to first may have been the difference between an out and an infield single.
Oh yeah, I've been there. I do the same thing, you know. It's not intentional, but it's just the way my body goes after I let go of the ball, and it can be tough, you know, like especially with a burner run up the line. You've literally got to make a perfect play to get that out of your glove and flip it. So, you know, especially with someone with Riley's speed.
Fanti spent a lot of time this year on the DL with the Florida State League's Clearwater Threshers. Lifted foul and out of play. The count is 1-2.
Well, that's a totally different style of ballpark to this. That's a bit of a graveyard, the old Clearwater Threshers, especially in the Florida State League, and nothing seems to fly there, and not a whole lot of wind, and now he's playing in a tiny ballpark here in Brisbane with the wind going out. So,
in limited action, Fanti encountered his first professional adversity. Taking off for second is Unro. Grounded to the second baseman, Kemp. He goes to first, but by sending Unro in motion, Bandits stay out of a potential double play. 2 down, with Unro now at second, and Donald Lutz will step to the plate. Fanti this year, with the Threshers, 3-3, a 7.22 ERA in 6 starts. But you go back to his 2017 season, he was 9-2 in the Sally League with a 2.54 ERA in 21 starts. And almost exactly a strikeout per inning pitched. Get a lefty, you get strikeouts, that's a good mix.
Yeah, can't hurt, can it?
Lefty-lefty matchup here for Donald Lutz, and he sends it into his own dugout.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to give Donald that much to hit in this at-bat with the base open. Even though there's a righty on deck, you know, Donald's obviously a big power threat, and I can't see him making too many fastballs over the plate to him in this situation anyway.
Last time Unro played for the Bandits, he led the team in stolen bases. A base hit to the outfield here should score the speedster from second. Time called at home plate. Fanti will bring a fastball in the low 90s. Change up and a breaking pitch. Standard mix. The 0-1. Just missing.
Yeah, and look, that's what he's going to do. When he's in those counts where he wants to try and sneak a fastball, he's going to nibble on the edges and try not to make any mistakes over the plate to someone like Donald. It was actually a pretty nice pitch for to set up the next one.
The 1-1 coming. Taken outside.
Look for a behind in the count breaking ball here, I think. Donald's going to be gearing up for a fastball and a little change up maybe. Yep.
Chopped foul up the first base line.
Yep, went with a change up.
And he was early.
He was. It's huge, you know. When you're a left-handed pitcher and you know, most pitchers don't throw their changeup in on the lefty. Lefties don't really throw it. They break the ball away from them, maybe sink it in. But you can put that in the hitter's mind that you've got that third pitch you're going to go to. That just takes the ability of them to cheat on a pitch away from them.
Fanti comes set. The 2-2. Soft liner, one hop to the second baseman Kemp, and the throw to first is just in time. Unruh speeding around the bases would have scored on that infield single had Lutz been able to beat it out. Another look at the Suki Bowl replay. Nice play by Kemp, getting it to first just in time to get Donald Lutz. Bandits come up empty for the first time this series in the first inning. We go to the second, scoreless in Brisbane.
Careful out there, champ.
How good is this?
Welcome back to One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. Sydney Blue Sox and the Curran Cove Brisbane Bandits in Game 3 of Round 3. Game 2 of today's doubleheader after the Bandits took Game 1 by a score of 4-1. The man who got the win in that game, Travis Blackley, is to my right. I'm Eric Bramer. Thank you for joining us on a beautiful evening for baseball in Brisbane. Tim Atherton allowed a 2-out walk in the first, but no more damage. He's out there to begin his second inning in this full 9-inning ball game. The 7-inning, 9-inning split in the ABL for scheduled doubleheaders is a very, very good idea, but in the case of this afternoon, when you've got two guys pitching who are throwing strikes and trying to get out of the sun, that leads to a long lag time in between games 1 and 2. Players don't mind that, but I'm wondering how that impacts a guy like Atherton who tries to get the mindset for Game 2 and has a lot of time to sit and wait.
Well, you know, I mean, I didn't even see him when I came in, went out to throw today, so I'm sure he knew it was going to be a 6 p.m. start. He kind of scheduled his day around that, and it wouldn't have affected him at all.
Zach Shepard steps in, fifth place batter for the Blue Sox, and the first baseman takes on the inside corner, a cold strike. Shepard, Campbell, and Shen, 5, 6, and 7, due up for Sydney. Shepard bumped up in the order 1 spot from Game 1 of the doubleheader. In Game 1, a gift double. It landed fair down the right field line. And then a pair of strikeouts. He's behind here, 0-2.
Yeah, Shep's a pretty good player, man. He's pretty young still. Had a couple of years over in the States, and you know, I tell you, he's got some serious power in that bat. You know, big, nice body for baseball, and you know, when he really gets hot, he can be a tough out.
Detroit Tigers prospect is Shepard. Here's the 0-2. Missing up and away. Shepard swings and misses, strike 3. Swinging strikeout, and once again, Atherton goes up in the zone to get the K.
There it is again, and he'll keep doing it. You know, it's just he knows that that's where he can live and not get in trouble. Occasionally, a guy will cheat on that pitch and maybe catch it, but you know, law of averages says he's not going to give up too many hits up there.
Skyfleet Hino strikeout, number 2 on the evening for Atherton. Here's the left-handed hitting Michael Campbell. Campbell 0 for 3 in the doubleheader game 1.
Yeah, look to Campbell. He's the guy that's going to work the count. He's actually pretty tough out. He's got a nice flat swing, likes to make contact. Not an easy guy to strike out. And, you know, a guy with a good fastball like this, he's going to look to pepper it to left field.
You got him swinging in his first at-bat this afternoon. How'd you go about doing that?
Yeah, you know, I had him 0-2, so obviously I had him in the hole. And I'd noticed he'd got a couple of hits last year and this year on the 0-2 fastball, trying to freeze him, trying to get him looking, and they weren't working. So today, you know, I just went with a nice cutter, and it really took off. You know, it ended up bending about 6-8 inches, and, you know, his contact swing just couldn't quite make contact with it, and there it is to left.
Down the line and foul. 1-2.
Yeah, look to Atho maybe stand him up inside here a little bit, you know, try and get him away from diving like that. You know, that's the game we play with the hitters, you know. They know your strengths, and they're going to try and, you know, take advantage of that. And if you can stand them up and keep them honest, then you'll have more success.
The 1-2 to Michael Campbell. Foul back to the screen.
Little slider inside right there. He would have liked it a little more down and in, but, you know, didn't get hurt. So he's changed his eye level and changed his look, and, you know, he probably looked to go up again with the fastball.
Atherton didn't get hurt, neither did our crowd mic, which took a hit but kept on ticking. Fanti looking in. One-two, swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts after the leadoff single. And Fanti will have to face Mitchell Ellis to complete the inning. Dutton still at first after the leadoff base hit. Switch hitting left fielder Mitch Ellis steps in. Ellis on the year batting .364, 1 homer and 5 runs batted in. Hit a game-changing 3-run shot round 1 against Adelaide, and he takes inside ball 1 here.
Yes, I was the thankful recipient of that, pitching in that game. Thank you, Mitch.
Hit on the ground towards third. Foul ball play made by Eunice. Call made by Mal Mackay with a 3-man crew. There was no third base umpire.
Yeah, that was really close right there. It would have been a tough play for Eunice. Mitch does run pretty well once he gets going. That would have been bang bang right there.
Here's the 1-1. Missing low and in. Welcome back. Sorry we had some technical difficulties, a power surge in the broadcast booth, but we are up and running again, as you can see. Runner at first, 2 down in the bottom of the second inning. Shenhao Wei struck out swinging to end the top half of this inning. Wade Dutton with a leadoff single as he's checked back at first. After the Dutton single, however, Nick Fanti has struck out both Shu Ji Hung and Ryan Battaglia. Mitchell Ellis in a hitter's count, trying to extend the inning. Fanti keeping a close eye on Dutton. Ellis, though he did hit a home run in round 1, is more of a gap-to-gap guy, so it makes sense that Dutton may try to take off here for second base and get into scoring position. 2-1 a check swing. May have been a strike anyway, and it's 2-2. Danny De La Calle waiting in the on-deck circle, hoping for a chance. Fanti comes set. The 2-2 to Ellis. Misses low and the count runs full. Now Dutton will take off for sure.
It'll be interesting to see what he goes with here. You know, he, kind of a contact hitter in Ellis. You know, he might try and pull the string on something here, throw a changeup. It looks like that's the sign that he got from D'Antonio.
The payoff pitch.
Hung it.
Left center field, down for a base hit. Rounding second on his way to third is Dutton. He's going to be waved around. Here's the throw from Ngope to the plate. It's not in time. And now the throw to second is wide. Ellis ends up at second. And the Bandits take a 1-0 lead on the clutch 2-out base hit.
Yeah, that was a great piece of running and good one to send him on right there. Kind of caught Ngope sleeping a little bit. And then he had to rush himself to make that throw, and offline it went. So, heads up base coach in there by Watto, and now we've got another runner in scoring position with 2 out.
Should go in the books as an RBI single for Ellis, advancing to second on the throw, and here's Danny De La Calle. De La Calle got game 1 off, as you usually see on a team with a couple catchers. Trying to bounce back after a 4-strikeout offensive night last night. Foul tip into the mid, it's 0-1.
Yeah, Danny found himself in a couple of ABs there with runners on and got pitched to pretty tight, and got some tough pitches to hit. You know, they had some good pitching last night, so I'm sure he'll brush it off and come back good today.
Chop to the left side, charging is Eunice, and he throws to first to retire De La Calle and the Bandits in the second inning. But Mitchell Ellis puts together a professional at bat and drives in a run to give the Bandits a 1-0 lead as we go to the third inning.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
No one knows what the future of transportation will look like. Robots. But no matter what, Enterprise can help. You can rent a car for a road trip. Look, kids, nature. Oh, wow. You can rent a truck for a move. You can buy a car, commute in a van pool, or get picked up because your car is in a pool. My bad. Count on Enterprise, no matter where transportation goes next.
Let's go.
I love the future. How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah?
Is it fun playing at festivals?
It's pretty good, mate. Get to see amazing places, meet new people. Everyone's just pumped to be there, and you get to do the sign-off.
Queensland, where life's beautiful one day and perfect the next.
The Bandits strike first once again in Game 3 of Round 3. 1-0 as we go to the third inning after Mitchell Ellis's 2-out RBI single. Beautiful night in Queensland as the sun sets down the right field line. Bandits looking for the doubleheader sweep and a spot in first place in the new divisional alignment of the ABL. Travis, you're a veteran of this league. What do you think of the new divisional alignment with the expansion from 6 to 8 teams?
Yeah, I think it's actually a good idea. quite often, you know, you might see a team, you know, early in the year and they're not firing yet, and then you face a team that wasn't firing earlier that everyone else got to beat up on early, and then you're facing a much different team, and it just gives you a better opportunity to have a better season, honestly. I really think it's a great idea. We're going to get to play each team twice in our division, so, you know, we might catch one team not playing well, or they might catch us not playing well, and then the vice versa next time around.
Joshua Dean leads off the third for the Blue Sox, 8-9-1 against Tim Atherton. Old strike begins the at-bat to the left-handed hitting DH.
And that's what you want to see out of Atho, you know, get that run, come out firing, strike one, you know, really put the pressure on him, keep him on the back foot.
In game one, you were able to hang up zeros after your team gave you some runs. The 0-1. Fouled at the plate off the back foot. Tough to do that.
Yeah, good little cutter in right there. Really got under his hands and nicked it French cut style right off his foot.
Dean, Howe, and Kemp do up.
We actually like that as pitchers, you know. A guy fouls on off his foot and has to hop around, you know. I mean, you just want to make sure you don't double that one up again, because that's what they're going to be looking for.
Usually you see guys foul it off the front foot. It's closer to the intended target of your hit. That one got the left back foot of Dean. Atherton's 0-2. Missing inside. Pitch with a purpose in there. Yeah. Ahead 0-2.
That's it. He was going for the black, trying to, you know, or jam him up, you know. We definitely wanted to get him to notice the ball inside. That's back-to-back pitches in. You know, you can really go away on him now with maybe a change-up or a backdoor slider, something like that, or even a fastball up. Ooh, he tried the backdoor curveball.
And it missed, 2-2.
Yeah, that's definitely, you know, that's pitching, you know, that's setting up the next pitch, you know. You can't, if we could throw every pitch for a strike, it'd probably be harder to pitch because, you know, guys are going to be able to see more in the zone.
Dean sends one our way out of play.
And the other plus about throwing a curveball right there, that gets him off the fastball. That slows him down. You know, the ball was up in the zone. It also changed his eye level. And then he comes back with a fastball, which would feel a lot faster than the previous fastball he'd seen.
You're listening to Travis Blackley, who earned the win in game one of today's doubleheader, joining us for the first few innings of the nightcap. 2-2 in on the hands, may have cracked his bat, but it died a hero, a base hit for Dean to begin the third inning.
Yep, that looked like a cutter from here. Pretty good pitch. Just guy seemed to muscle it right there and found a gap, you know. And you know, you can make your pitches and they still can get hits, you know. We're not invincible out there, and you know that looked like a pretty good pitch under the hands, but you know, good effort by the 8-hole hitter to get that done.
First hit of the game for the Blue Sox, second base runner after a first inning walk. Here's Alex Howe. Now batting in the 9-hole again with the 7-inning game one. He only got 2 at-bats. He was 0 for 2. Ball 1 misses.
Yeah, if they try with the curveball, trying to find it, you know, get him off the fastball, and if you can get 1 or 2 of them in for a strike and get a feel for it, it's going to make life a lot tougher on the Blue Sox next time through the lineup.
Atherton set at the letters, the 1-0. Misses high. It's pitch number 41 for Atherton and only 23 strikes. Belikai, the catcher, out to have a chat with the righty. And TJ Bennett comes on in to join in the fun. A few words of encouragement, mainly coming in to clear his spikes. Had a chance to talk to our head groundskeeper yesterday. He's been around this league a long time. This is a tremendous playing surface here at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus.
Yeah, it really is. You know, they do a great job getting this ready. I mean, they get plenty of rain, so it can be pretty soft out there at times, but you know, it's been great this weekend.
2-0 pitch left up, and Howe sent it straight back.
Yeah, probably a lot of plate right there, but I think after the first 2, he just wants to get one in there. And against the 9-hole hitter, you know, you can afford to be a little more generous with the strikes. But by no means an easy out, you know. You make another pitch like that back to back, I'm sure he'll take care of it. So Athlete needs to lock it in here.
Look towards Dean at first. The 2-1 to Howe. Hit hard. Nice. Taylor made double play ball. And the throw to first is high, pulling Dutton off the base. They get Dean at second, and it would have been a close play at first, but Unro's throw from second is too tall for Dutton.
Yeah, it just looked like Dutto leaned out to like stretch a little early there. When the throw was high, he had to leave his feet. You know, if he had to stay standing upright until the throw came out of his hand, he would have seen it high and just been able to reach up. But, you know, that's, you know, not generally a first baseman for the most part, but he can play a lot of positions. You know, we've seen him in the infield and the outfield, and, you know, if he was a full-time first baseman, I'm pretty sure he would have made that play.
David Sutherland, the usual first baseman, on the bench to start today because he's a left-handed hitter, has 10 centimeters on Dutton. So a bit of a smaller target to throw to. Lineup turns over with one down for Dwayne Kemp. And a cold strike begins the at-bat. Kemp flew out to left his first time.
Yeah, again, another getting ahead right there. I mean, that's what you want. You know, one out right there. He's unlucky to not get the double play there on a pretty firmly hit ball to shortstop. And, you know, I think he'll be, and again, this is another tough guy to double up because he's pretty speedy. So, you know, he'll be looking to hopefully let him get.
Breaking pitch left up.
Yeah, hopefully try and jam him up or something and get the out. You know, keep the runner off second and leave this guy on first. But a strikeout would be nice as well.
Atherton delivers, and it misses low and away. Bandits with the win earlier today improved to 5-4 behind Sydney, who is 6-4. Bandits had their final game in Auckland postponed due to rain. It will be made up later this season when the Tuatara come here to Brisbane. The 2-1. Kemp sends it high in the air, deep towards right field. Battaglia is back, and just shy of the track, he makes the catch for out number 2. In this ballpark, you can't pitch away and tell yourself, I'm not going to give up a home run if I pitch it away, because stuff like that can happen. That was almost out of here.
Yeah, you know, maybe in the day game that might have had more of a chance, you know, with the wind blowing a little firmer, but you know, being a leadoff hitter, he's not a big guy. I'm sure there's a little juice in there when he catches one, but generally hitting it the other way, you don't get as much distance, and you know, that was a safer play to go with right there.
And Battaglia handles his first try in right field tonight with aplomb. Here's Gift and Gope, strikeout victim his first time up. And Gope with a solo shot out to right center field for the only run of the day thus far for Sydney. 1-0 the count.
Yeah, Atho's still out there searching for that groove, you know. He's just trying to get that rhythm. And I've been there before, you know. You don't always have the rhythm you want when you start the game. And that's the thing about Atho. He's professional. He's been here before. He's been in this position before, and he's found it. So there it is. Good pitch. Cutter on the outside corner.
1-1 the count. Next pitch for Atherton will be number 50.
Yeah, Atho's very methodical out there. You know, he's very he's a bit of a perfectionist like myself, and when things aren't kind of going right where you want them, then you know, you start getting a little angry, and that's one thing with Atho. When he gets angry, he gets tougher to hit.
And Gope takes low and away, and a nice stop by De La Calle. May have gotten some help from the home plate umpire Mal Mackay.
Yeah, it actually looked like he crossed him up a little bit there, like he was expecting that to be a cutter, and it ended up being a fastball. As you see him going out right now, been like, what was that?
This won't be a mound visit, but had something to discuss there.
And that's what happens at night here. You know, you have trouble seeing the fingers down there, and a lot of times guys will put some white out on the back of their hand so you can see their fingers easier, or even their nails.
Jorge Posada, I think, was the first to paint his fingernails white or neon yellow, green.
And it helps, because, you know, if you can look on TV right now, it's pretty dark in there between the knees.
The 2-1.
Good pitch.
Ooh, just away. And the count is 3-1 with Jacob Eunice on deck.
Yeah, that's one of those borderline pitches, you know, like up and away. It's hard to call that in this situation without getting an earful from the dugout. At the same time as the pitcher, you feel like that ball had the plate when it crossed it, you know what I mean? So, yeah, you know, you got to kind of keep your composure here, and you still got to make a pitch.
3-1, and Gope puts a charge into one, but it's picked up by Bennett, the shortstop, and he goes the short way for out number 3. Blue Sox get their first hit of the ball game, but nothing more. We go to the bottom of the third. Brisbane still on top, 1-0. You're watching Bandits.tv.
And there he is.
Can't you see my heart is lost without you? And your kisses make me love you more. And your kisses make me love you more. Can't you hear the sound of love and desire? Kiss me, baby, touch me. Kiss me, baby, love me.
It is a gorgeous night in Brisbane, and the Bandits are looking for the doubleheader sweep and a place atop the division as they take on the first-place Sydney Blue Sox. 1-0 Brisbane as we go to the bottom of the third. Travis Blackley and Eric Bramer with you. It will be the top of the order for the Bandits, beginning with Andrew Campbell against Nick Fanti. Bandits got a 2-out RBI single from Mitchell Ellis, scoring Wade Dutton all the way from first base to strike first in tonight's ball game. All this after a 4-1 7-inning victory in the first game of the doubleheader this afternoon. Andrew Campbell flew out to right field his first time up, and he takes up an in-ball 1. Fanti 3 hits allowed, no walks and 2 strikeouts so far. Young lefty out of New York delivers, low and away 2-0. Campbell, Unroe, and Bennett for the Bandits.
This is a big pitch for him right here. You know, 2-0 to a hitter like Campbell. You know, you can't just groove on in there. He'd probably go off speed. He did change up.
On a couple hops to second, Kemp throws to Shepard to retire Campbell for the first out.
No, that was a great pitch right there. I mean, it wasn't probably located right where he wanted it, but it worked out at the end. Got him on the front foot, and he got some weak contact to second. And you know, that happens here in this ballpark. Guys don't want to take walks. They want to get something they can hammer in the air and let it fly over the fence. And, you know, not your traditional leadoff hitter there. He's a pretty aggressive swinging guy, and he's got the power to back it up, though.
Riley Unroe can finally breathe. Though it only went about 70 feet, he picked up his first hit of the season, his first time up. A little check swing base hit up the first base line. He takes ball 1 from Fanti. Switch hitter batting righty again. Awaits the next. Taken low and in, almost clipped the shoelaces. And it's 2-0. For Fanti, now 41 pitches, 26 of them for strikes.
You know, he really wants to, as a pitcher here, you really want to find your way back into this count. And, you know, if you can get to the next hitter and work ahead, that will make it a lot easier on him.
The 2-0. Unroe got a pitch to hit, but could not connect. It's 2-1.
Wasn't a bad pitch right there. It was kind of a pitcher's pitch. You know, he probably got a little aggressive on the corners there, but worked out in his favor.
Taken low and in, 3-1 with TJ Bennett waiting on deck. Unruh is a speedster. Beat out the infield single in the first inning. When he played for the Bandits in the 15-16 season as a 20-year-old, he led the team in stolen bases and triples. 3-1 fouled straight back.
Yeah, actually, it felt like he led it in average, too. I don't know if that's the case, but...
It was just a couple percentage points off the team lead in average, but the batting average was in the 350 range, so pretty impressive.
Yeah, he seemed, and he walked quite a bit. He was leading off for us, and he did a great job setting the table, you know. Getting him on early, getting him over, a lot of our guys loved having him in front of them.
Payoff pitch from Fanti, and he got him swinging. Strikeout number 3 for Nick Fanti. And Unruh continues to struggle seeing the ball. He's just got a little rust he has to shake off at this point.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's nothing compares to game-style pitching. You know, you can take all the BP in the cage you want. Nothing's going to compare to seeing it come out of a pitcher's hand in a live game. And, you know, it won't take him long. You know, he's generally a gap-to-gap guy. He's got, you know, great back control. So strikeouts won't be too easy to get later on down the road for the pitchers. But, you know, while he's getting his feet wet, you know, he's going to have to work through it.
He was on American soil as recently as Wednesday. Here's T.J. Bennett. Bennett grounded to second his first time up, and he takes a ball to begin his second plate appearance. Fanti takes the sign from D'Antonio. And a big swing and a miss, 1-1. Good changeup there and a good spot for Fanti.
Yeah, that was a great pitch. You know, off that high up and in breaking ball, TJ's definitely sitting on the fastball right there. And you know, that's what a changeup does. It looks like a fastball, and it's about 8 to 10 mile an hour slower, and just caught him out front.
Another lefty-lefty matchup for the Bandits, and a foul tip into the mitt brings the count to 1-2.
And he went with the two-seam sinker right there. You know, just, again, got on him really quick, had that good bite down and in on him. Really sets this up well for him. He could throw just about any of those 3 pitches right now.
1-2 misses low. 4 lefties, 2 switch hitters in this Bandits lineup tonight, and that is without Daniel Nielsen and Goofy Sutherland, 2 guys who are mainstays in this lineup. When you got a good changeup like we saw from Fanti, do you have any qualms about throwing it to a left-handed batter?
Not at all. That's not one of my favorite pitches to throw when it's on. You know, it's just a pitch they're not expecting in big counts.
2-2 misses inside, and the count runs full. Donald Lutz waiting on deck.
It's also a pitch you don't want to go to the well too many times with. You know, you're starting to get guys swinging at that. They're talking with each other in the dugout, and someone's going to run into one sooner or later.
Fanti's 3-2 offering. Bennett swings and sends it on a routine grounder to the first baseman, Shepard. Fanti covers, and there is a 1-2-3 third inning, the first of the night for Fanti. We go to the 4th in Brisbane. Bandits on top, 1-0.
Careful, out there, champ.
How good is this?
One nothing. Brisbane Bandits lead the Sydney Blue Sox as we go to the top of the 4th inning in Game 2 of today's doubleheader at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. Our thanks to Travis Blackley, the starter in Game 1, who was generous enough with his time to join us for the first 3 innings of tonight's broadcast. Lisa Norrie, Assistant Director of Operations and the Women's High Performance Coach, is going to join us, I believe, here later on in the ball game before Paul Gonzalez takes us the rest of the way. Lisa's got some exciting news to share with us and an interesting perspective as well, so we hope to have her up here before too long. Tim Atherton has been outstanding. So far, the Brisbane pitching staff has allowed just 1 run on a solo home run throughout today's doubleheader. 3, 4, and 5 due up for the Blue Sox here in the 4th inning. Jacob Eunice, Trent D'Antonio, and Zach Shepard against Atherton. In steps Jacob Eunice. He drew a walk his first time up. One of just 2 base runners the Blue Sox have had so far against Atherton. Atherton has given his team 6 innings in each of his first 2 starts and seems well on his way to doing that again. Season ERA now down below 2. Eunice swings at the first pitch and sends it back to the screen. A reminder that the finale of this 4-game set is tomorrow. If you've got the calendar automatically imported into your phone or your laptop, it may say 2:30, but first pitch is 2 o'clock. And as part of the ConocoPhillips For the Kids effort, first 150 kids through the gates get in free. Ball misses high and tight to Jacob Eunice. For the Bandits, 1 run on 3 hits. For the Blue Sox, no runs on 1 hit. Atherton from the wind delivers the 1-1. Breaking pitch clips the inside corner after Eunice had bailed out of the batter's box. Atherton allowed a leadoff single in the 3rd inning before pitching around it. He'd like to avoid going to the stretch position here in the 4th. The 1-2. Lifted in the air, foul, down the first base line, out of play. Nary an empty seat to be found here tonight. Had a good crowd for the afternoon game, but now that the sun has set, an even better crowd for Game 2. They get the official numbers by the end of the night, but suffice to say, an impressive turnout for the Bandits faithful. Atherton with a long look in. Another 1-2 coming to Eunice, and a foul tip into the mid of De La Calle. A swinging strikeout is strikeout number 4 for Atherton tonight, and another Skyfleet Hino strikeout. With 1 down, we have time now to introduce you to our guest for the next couple innings here in the broadcast booth, Lisa Norrie, the Assistant Director of Ops and the Women's High Performance Coach for the Bandits. Lisa, welcome.
Thanks.
I understand we have some exciting news to share with our viewers here. We'll get to that as soon as we introduce Trent D'Antonio, left-handed hitting catcher who popped down to the second baseman his first time up. Atherton's first pitch. Missing low and in. Lisa, tell our viewers a little bit about where you'll be going next week. Pretty exciting.
It is very exciting. I'm heading over to Las Vegas for about a week. I applied for it's a Major League Baseball diversity and inclusive for women in baseball who want to further their career, coaching career, umpiring, etc. So put an application in. I was successful with that, which is really exciting. So they've taking 60 females from across the world.
Last year you made a little history as the first female coach in the ABL. What do you aspire to do in this great game down the road?
Oh, look, anything it is possible. So being amongst the Bandits is just amazing. Working alongside David Nielsen and have Mark Reedy support me with everything I do is just amazing up here. So, as far as I can go, I'll keep going. So,
everyone down in the dugout raves about your baseball acumen, your knowledge, your ability as a coach. How did you get into baseball? There are a couple stereotypes that you had to overcome to get to this point. Australia, not traditionally a baseball hotbed. That is finally changing. And there have not been too many, if any, women coaches at the high levels of the sport.
No. Look, I started out playing softball as most women do. And then I got asked to trial for the Queensland women's baseball team, and I went along and trialled and made it, and I played for about 12 years myself, and then stepped back into a coaching role with the Queensland women's team.
What position did you play during your career?
I played short and a bit of pitching, come in and close, so mainly pivot.
Atherton brings it home, and D'Antonio lifts it foul over his own dugout. 2-2 the count. Lisa Norrie on the Bandits coaching staff is our guest here for the next couple innings in the broadcast booth. For our viewers who may not know a whole lot about the world of women's baseball, what are some of the primary differences between the women's game and the men's game?
Oh, look, not a great deal. Obviously, the men are bigger and stronger and throw harder, but very similar game styles. So
Bennett had one chance to make the play as he attempts to barehand it off the mound. A little bit of side spin made that a difficult play, and he comes up empty. It should be a single for D'Antonio. Second base hit of the ball game for the Blue Sox. You're a former shortstop. How do you approach a play like that?
That's a tough play. It's the guys are quick up the line, so he's made the decision to come in there barehanded, and as you said, a bit of a side spin off the mound, so it's a tough play. You got to come and attack it, as he did. So
you are heading to Las Vegas, where the winter meetings will be held. That is kind of the off-season central of Major League Baseball, Minor League Baseball, and all of American baseball. What do you expect to learn, and what do you expect to be able to share with your fellow invitees during this seminar?
Oh, look, it's really exciting that Major League Baseball are branching out and recognising women in baseball, and the greater impact that we're going to have on the women's game, and with kids programs and athletes across all the world, I suppose. So it's very exciting times being amongst all the coaches, the owners, and other women amongst the sport. So be learning heaps of scouting. We'll be learning how to scout and networking, as well as on-field and off-field stuff. So it'll be
in the lower levels of the American minor leagues, we've seen a couple female umpires, and increasingly we are seeing female executives. That's an area where baseball has made quite a deal of progress. Lifted foul as Zach Shepard makes his second plate appearance. Where can baseball make the most substantive growth in terms of reaching out to women, getting them involved in the behind-the-scenes work of the sport?
Oh, look, I think as long as we show the support with women, we've just got to really build it, get it out there, making sure that everybody's aware that women do play baseball and women are accepted in roles behind the scene also as on field. And, Bandits do a fantastic job with supporting women involved in baseball. The more franchises, the more clubs that are able to do that, we'll be able to grow the game in the women's side for sure.
One step in growing the game here in Brisbane is the potential to have a women's baseball league. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, very exciting times for women's baseball for sure. So
on a 3-1, runner takes off, and the throw down to second is perfect. Dropped by Unruh. He recovers, but by the time he gets the tag down on D'Antonio, the catcher for the Blue Sox slides in safely. Take another look at the Suki Bowl replay. An outstanding throw from Danny De La Calle. Maybe a little bit of contact with the left hand of D'Antonio going in for the headfirst dive. That may have dislodged the ball from Unruh's glove. Regardless, the Blue Sox have the tying run in scoring position. The pitch was a strike, and the count is 3-2. Atherton up to 68 pitches. This will be number 69. Trying to get through at least 5. Now here goes D'Antonio to third base, and the 3-2 pitch is fouled off. This is a catcher, albeit a utility player who can play all over, but a catcher taking off for second, and then on the very next pitch trying to steal third. You don't see that too often.
No, you don't.
De La Calle perhaps telling Atherton to keep a closer eye on Trent D'Antonio. After Shepard, Michael Campbell will bat. Atherton's 3-2. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Shepard can't believe it. It's strikeout number 5 for Atherton, the second of the inning, and another Skyfleet Hino strikeout. Shepard with some words for home plate umpire Mal Mackay, but as we take a look here, close to the outside edge and framed well by De La Calle behind the plate. Of his 5 strikeouts, that was the first strikeout looking for Atherton. And here's Michael Campbell, who grounded a short his first time up, trying to keep the inning alive for the Blue Sox. Lisa Norrie, our guest in the booth. You were telling us a little bit about the Women's Baseball League.
Yeah, as I was saying, very exciting times. We've been wanting to have this to happen for quite some time, and with the support from Mark Reedy and the push and the drive that he has for it, and communicating well with Baseball Australia, it's going to go ahead next year. So really, really exciting. And to be able to have this to go internationally, have imports come out just like the men's ABL. So, we're going to have the best of women's baseball across the world coming out and being amongst it. So, eventually would love to have Japanese teams come and be involved, and US teams, and the first of a professional women's league outside, so internationally. So we have the professional league in Japan, but they're just primarily Japanese players. So now and then they'll have a couple of imports, but no other teams go and play in that league. So that's where we'll eventually look to head.
1-1 the count to Michael Campbell. For those of you keeping track at home, official scorer has ruled that D'Antonio advanced to second, a caught-stealing error, which is a very rare ruling. This one ruled fair down the third base line past the diving shoe into the corner. Scoring from second is D'Antonio, and Michael Campbell, just as the Bandits did in the second inning, comes through with the big 2-out RBI hit. Sydney ties it up 1 apiece. That will be, for now, an unearned run to Tim Atherton because of that scoring decision. Again, caught stealing E4, which you don't see all that often. We'll see if that has changed later on. RBI single for Campbell, and Shen Hao Wei comes in. Strikeout victim his first time up. The center fielder looks to extend the inning further for the Blue Sox. Lisa, you will be one of the few, I would imagine, representatives of Australia at this seminar. What is it, a seminar, a conference? How would you describe it?
We're actually going to be on field.
On field?
Yeah, on and off field. So a mixture of off-field learning as well as on field. So, but yes, I'm the only female from Australia heading over. So.
That would, I would imagine, be a great honor. Do you feel a responsibility, as Jim Bennett, the pitching coach, comes out to talk to Tim Atherton, you feel a responsibility to represent Australia in a way greater than you are accustomed to?
Oh, definitely. It's a huge honour to be going over, and, to have the Bandits brand put out there too, within MLB and representing Australia, so to speak. So it's a huge honour, and hopefully I learn a lot from that and can bring that back here and put that into the women's game. So
Atherton comes set. Pitch to the plate is on the outside corner, a strike. Blue Sox have tied the ball game up at 1 apiece here in the top of the 4th inning. A single, a caught-stealing error, and a 2-out base hit down the third base line for Michael Campbell. Campbell dances off first and stays put as another called strike is delivered to Shen Hao Wei. Shen batting .242 on the season. Here's the 1-2. Just missing the corner. That was a corner that Atherton got in the Zach Shepard at bat, but not here. 2-2 the count. Swung on and missed strike 3. Atherton strikes out 3 in the 4th inning, but in between those punch-outs, a pair of singles and the first Blue Sox run. We're all square at 1 apiece going to the bottom of the 4th on Bandits.tv.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
No one knows what the future of transportation will look like. Robots. But no matter what, Enterprise can help. You can rent a car for a road trip. Look, kids, nature. Oh, wow. You can rent a truck for a move. You can buy a car, commute in a van pool, or get picked up because your car is in a pool. My bad. Count on Enterprise, no matter where transportation goes next.
Let's go.
I love the future. How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah?
Is it fun playing at festivals?
It's pretty good, mate. Get to see amazing places, meet new people. Everyone's just pumped to be there. And you get to do the sign-off.
Queensland, where life's beautiful one day and perfect the next.
We are back to even 1 apiece between the Sydney Blue Sox and the Brisbane Bandits. There's the owner, Mark Reedy, in the dugout. Usually he's in the Wolf's lair, but he is down with the players and the coaches tonight. So too is our handheld camera. Outstanding addition to our Hailstorm production. Rick Bramer with you in the broadcast booth at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. Our guest for the next couple innings is Lisa Norrie, Assistant Director of Ops for the team and the Women's High Performance Coach, who is heading to Las Vegas on the winter meetings next week as part of a diversity and women in baseball initiative enacted by Major League Baseball. Donald Lutz leads off the 4th inning. He's 0 for 1 today. He'll be followed by Wade Dutton and Shu Chi Hong. 2-0 the count to the dangerous Bandits DH. Lisa, you became the first coach in the ABL as a woman last year.
Mm-hmm.
This year, your title has changed. Tell me a little bit about that. It's a more impressive title to be certain, as Lutz hits a broken bat grounder to short. Charging in is Ngope, and he throws on target to first for the first out.
Yeah, look, I've been lucky enough, been speaking and working with Mark Reedy, and he's wanting me to be more involved again this year with the men's and then also with the women's professional league coming up. He wants me to manage that. And so I've been fortunate enough that I'm now employed full-time with Bandits, and I work closely with Dave Nilsson with growing the women's game, and we're fortunate enough to have some of our female athletes work alongside the Bandits post-season, pre-season, everything with the Bandits up at QS. So
Wade Dutton singled his first time up, then from first base was off with the pitch on a 3-2 two-out delivery to Mitchell Ellis. Ellis collected a single, and Dutton scored all the way from first base as it dropped into shallow left center field. Good base running from the Bandits' utility man, who's playing first base tonight for the first time at home. 2-0 the count. How much time have you spent in America?
I've been there a few times. Never been to Las Vegas, so it'll be interesting. I get a one-day rest to have a little look around, but it'll be all business while I'm there. So,
Gonna do any gambling?
Yeah, I'm not a big gambler, so
If you're not
I'll
a
go
big
and have a
gambler,
look.
you should not do much gambling.
No,
It
no.
usually doesn't end well.
Yeah, no, I'll go and have a look, but yeah, don't know how much I'll be doing.
3-0. Fanti needed a strike, and he got one on the inside corner. Shu Ji-hung waiting on deck. The 3-1 to Dutton. Missing inside, a 5-pitch walk. Dutton aboard for the second time tonight, and the Bandits have a base runner with one down in the fourth. Next pitch for Fanti will be his 60th. 34 strikes, 25 balls. Shu stands in. Strikeout victim his first time up. He takes the first pitch. It kicks away from D'Antonio, and Dutton read it well. He advances to second on the wild pitch. Lisa, maybe it's a good time with you up here to talk about the expansion of the Bandits business side of things, trying to reach out to the women part of the market, and with Shu Ji-hung at the plate, tapping into the Asian market as well.
Yeah, most definitely. We'll be definitely looking at some Taiwanese, Japanese players definitely to come out for the women's ABL.
Shu trying to find his footing here in the ABL. A big home run cut, and he comes up empty. The finer details of the women's league may not be ironed out yet, but where do you see yourself playing? Who do you see yourselves playing against?
Yeah, and look, the finer details haven't been ironed out. We'll be meeting early in the new year to finalise all the details. But, you know, there's a couple of franchises, about 3 or 4 franchises that are very keen to be involved. So we're looking at the first season be 4 teams. And we may even look at having a showcase game, hopefully even this season.
Very cool. We'll keep our viewers posted on that if that comes to fruition. 2-2 the count to Shu Ji-hung. Fanti's 2-2. Missing wide, and the count runs full. First base is open. Ryan Battaglia waits on deck. Last night, the Blue Sox won the opener of the series in a thriller. 5-4 the final, as Todd Van Stensel left the bases loaded in the 9th inning. David Sutherland with a line drive out to right field. Staggering play made by Campbell to end the ball game. Almost a win for the Bandits, and they exacted a measure of revenge earlier today with a 4-1 victory in Game 1 of the doubleheader. Bandits set their sights on winning this series. They'd have to win the final 2, this game and tomorrow's matinee finale, in order to do so. Payoff pitch coming to Shu. Early, and he sends it foul over his dugout. Bandits will go to Sydney at the end of the 2018 calendar year, playing the Blue Sox in Blacktown the 27th through the 30th of December. 3 night games and then a noon game. Always fun to go there. And a very close pitch is taken outside. Good at bat from Shu as he draws a walk. And now first and second with one down for Ryan Battaglia. Shu is dealing with a lot of adjustments here. Seeing different pitchers for the first time, living in Australia, eating Australian food, some stuff that people kind of take for granted. But at bats like that, drawing a walk, that's a small step towards where he wants to be.
Yeah, definitely. It's a huge adjustment for him. As you said, living in Australia, the food, everything, baseball. It's going to be a big confidence boost, get him on the base paths and next at bat.
Pair of walks for Fanti, the first 2 of the game for him, and now Ryan Battaglia, who struck out his first time. Battaglia getting the start in right field tonight. Earlier this afternoon, he was the starting catcher. Doubt he minds taking the equipment off after a scorching afternoon here in Brisbane. The 1-0, Battaglia sends it high, sends it deep to center field. This ball is back and gone. A 3-run jack for Ryan Battaglia, and the Bandits lead it 4-1. Walks will haunt, a pair of free passes, and Battaglia makes Fanti pay with another Empire Jerky home run. First of the year for Battaglia, RBIs 2, 3, and 4. Yet again, it's the long ball coming up clutch for the Bandits. Another look at the Suki Bowl replay, and Fanti knew it as soon as it left the bat. Brian Murphy, the pitching coach, out to have a chat, and there's Mark Reedy giving the home run hero an embrace. Knucks and back rubs all around for the Bandits right fielder. From down here, we cannot see the Sydney bullpen. Next pitch for Fanti will be number 70, and things were moving along quite well for him until the last 3 batters. Walk, wild pitch, walk, 3-run home run. And here's Mitchell Ellis, who delivered a 2-out RBI single his first time up. We touched on this last night, Lisa. The Bandits, in part because of their home ballpark, are a team built around the home run. Sydney has found success playing in a very pitcher-friendly ballpark, doing a little more of the small ball side of things, and the great starting pitching can't hurt. Here's a called strike 3. We'll talk more about the differing styles, and the umpire got that wrong. He thought it was out number 3. The catcher, D'Antonio, was walking off. Umpire got it right. We don't want to throw him under the bus. Mal Mackay stayed put, and the catcher, D'Antonio, walked off as if it was the 3rd out. Ellis gone on strikes, and here's Danny De La Calle. First pitch misses badly, up and away. The Bandits, at their best, are going to hit a lot of home runs, and they're going to win a lot of games. The Blue Sox, at their best, are going to pitch well, play good defense, get timely hits, but they're not going to get a whole lot of home runs, will they?
No, not at all. No.
It's a matter of which of those strategies will pay off in the long run.
Yeah.
Bandits 3-time defending champions. Sydney trying to unthrone the Bandits. Right now they are ahead of them by a half game in the standings. De La Calle put the ball in play. His first time up, a grounder to 3rd. And he lifts that one foul to the screen. Danny's batting average still .280. So far in round 3, he hasn't had much to show for his offensive output. But when you've got a catcher who can bat .280 batting in your 9 spot, that says a lot about the rest of your lineup. On the inside corner, 2-2. What have your first impressions been of Danny De La Calle so far?
Oh, look, he's a great teammate. Very strong behind the plate. Like as we saw that play yesterday, the ball got away from him and makes that huge out at first, which is just fantastic. So as you said, you got a guy like that behind the dish and still hitting .280. He's doing a great job.
1 homer, 2 runs batted in, 3 doubles to go with that home run. When he's gotten hits, he's made them count.
Yeah, sure.
Payoff pitch and a big swing and a foul.
He does a really good job with managing his pitches and working well with them, so which is great to have. Three-two, chopped left side. High second hop for Ngope.
And the throw to first retires De La Calle and the Bandits in the 4th inning. But it is a successful 4th inning for Brisbane. A pair of walks and a 3-run home run from Ryan Battaglia to give the Bandits a 4-1 lead. To the top of the 5th after this on Bandits.tv.
Careful, out there, champ.
How good is this?
Tim Atherton's offense has picked him up just as he gave away his lead. A 3-run home run from Ryan Battaglia has put the Bandits back on top by a score of 4-1. In the top of the 5th, it will be Joshua Dean, Alex Howe, and Dwayne Kemp. 8-9-1 for the Blue Sox as they try and get back into the ballgame. Eric Bramer with you, joined by Lisa Norrie, Assistant Director of Operations for the Bandits and the Women's High Performance Coach. Lisa, we've talked a little bit about your trip to Las Vegas next week and the activities that you will be involved in. Tell us exactly what you will be doing, because it sounds pretty exciting.
Yeah, it sure is. Look, we'll be a variety of different things. Will be like introduction to professional coaching, which is really exciting to be amongst all the professional coaches over there. Coaches in an organisation, scouting basics will be as well, and also introduction to player wellness and also the professional umpiring. But also we'll be doing a lot of learning the scouting reports. We'll be doing resume building and interview skills also. So really across the board. Not just on field, we'll be doing a lot of off field and behind the scenes as well. So,
Joshua Dean singled his first time, was forced out at second. Left-handed hitting DH stands in.
And then the on-field stuff will be hitting, base running, fielding, or the general.
Dean lifts one down the left field line. It lands just foul. Joshua Dean was about a foot away from a 2-for-2 start to his season. He retreats to the batter's box with the count 0-2.
Yeah, so a lot of on-field stuff. The second day, first day will be the introduction to the professional side of baseball and coaching. But it really exciting being there with the winter. With all the professional coaches, owners.
You going to break any trade news on Twitter? Overhear anything? Send it out and beat Ken Rosenthal to the scoop?
Oh, yeah, I could do.
Never been to the winter meetings, but I know it's a very hectic and frantically paced place to be.
Yes, I've heard that. A lot going on.
1-2, just foul up the first base line, fielded by Dutton anyway. So this particular program is focused on women in baseball, but it is part of MLB's larger diversity initiative. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly. So, focusing more on women and wanting to further their career in baseball, behind the scenes in the office, on field, umpiring, but also then looking at, the kids programs and even with athletes with disability, and So it's a great thing of Major League Baseball what they're getting involved in. And
1-2 lofted out to left, and a sliding catch made by Ellis. Moving in, that is a dangerous slide to make, but Ellis handled it with aplomb for out number 1 here in the 5th inning. Mitchell Ellis has not gotten in the starting lineup every day, but when he has gotten playing time, he has made the most of it. And a nice sliding play there to take a base hit away from Joshua Dean. Alex Howe steps in. He reached on a fielder's choice his first time up. Lisa Norrie with us for a couple innings on the broadcast, telling us about the Women's Baseball League, her own participation in the upcoming MLB Women in Baseball Initiative, and her role on the Brisbane Bandits coaching and front office staff. Lisa, say we've got a woman watching the broadcast tonight and they want to know how they can get involved in baseball at a high level, like what you aspire to build here in Brisbane. How do they learn more about it?
Oh, look, I think they've got to get down to the game, learn the game. Don't be afraid to go and talk to anybody and get involved. Put your hand up and want to be involved.
You certainly make this environment sound like a welcoming place to be, as grounder to first is handled by Dutton. He flips on to Atherton for the second out. Atherton trying to complete at least 5 innings here with the pitch count mounting up to 86. He's 1 out away from doing just that. Dwayne Kemp steps in. He's 0 for 2 with a pair of outfield flies. Any suggestion of intimidation of women entering the game, that just doesn't seem to exist here.
No, I think you've got to make sure you've got the confidence in yourself to be around them. And look, I've been around the game for 18 years, so it's not as if I'm sort of new to the game, so that helps it a bit. But, you know, all the boys are fantastic. They all have been welcoming and just make me feel part of the franchise and part of the team. Goes along with the coaching staff, the office staff. So it is a fantastic club to be in. So
we talked about the differences, whatever few there are, between men's and women's baseball. But you talked about your background as a softball player. First pitch swinging is Kemp. He sends it to short. And the throw and the stretch completes the third out. Dutton needed every inch, every centimeter to make that play. But a 1-2-3 5th inning. Back with more from Lisa Norrie when we come back. Bandits on top 4-1.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
No one knows what the future of transportation will look like. Robots. But no matter what, Enterprise can help. You can rent a car for a road trip. Look, kids, nature. Oh, wow. You can rent a truck for a move. You can buy a car, commute in a van pool, or get picked up because your car is in a pool. My bad. Count on Enterprise, no matter where transportation goes next.
Let's go.
I love the future. How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah?
Is it fun playing at festivals?
It's pretty good, mate. Get to see amazing places, meet new people. Everyone's just pumped to be there. And you get to do the sign-off.
Queensland, where life's beautiful one day and perfect the next.
Curran Cove Brisbane Bandits lead the Sydney Blue Sox 4-1 as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning in the nightcap of this afternoon's doubleheader at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. Bandits got 5 innings at least out of Tim Atherton. He's in line for the victory, and his day might be done, as it appears Dave Nielsen has activated the bullpen. Bandits will send the top of their lineup, beginning with Andrew Campbell up against Nick Fanti. Fanti labored a bit in the 4th. Pair of walks and a 3-run home run to Ryan Battaglia has given the Bandits a 4-1 lead. Campbell 0 for 2. He takes low and away ball 1. Lisa Norrie with us, talking about her role on the Bandits coaching staff and her future heading to Las Vegas next week as part of the Women in Baseball initiative for Major League Baseball. You talked about your transition from softball to baseball and the differences between men's and women's baseball. But aside from the Olympic competition, there aren't a whole lot of opportunities to continue to play softball beyond the academic level. How do people make that transition from being a softball fan to a baseball fan, or a softball player to a baseball player?
Well, look, we have many of females here in Australia that make that transition, and we've also got them playing both. So we've got a lot of our Queensland players that also play softball. So it's just a matter of you make that decision whether you want to continue to play both or make that transition. Sometimes it's a bit of a tough gig to be playing both, obviously with the bit difference of the pitching and affects their at-bats, but you know, they've got the flexibility to be able to play both, and I think it's great that we're actually starting to work together now, softball and baseball, so we can have the best possible athletes playing both the games. So.
6 straight balls to start the 5th inning for Nick Fanti. Andrew Campbell at first after his free pass. Riley Unruh 1 for 2 with an infield single stands in. And now 3-0. Fanti really laboring here. Ball 7 chant from the Bandits faithful. The Outlaws down the third base line. Ball 8. And the chant will continue until Fanti can throw a strike. We saw pitching coach Brian Murphy come out to talk to the lefty after Battaglia's home run. Pitch count up to 87 for the young lefty. And there's McVeigh again warming in the bullpen. Cameron McVeigh pitched a quick 6th inning in game 1 of the doubleheader, allowed a solo homer, but evidently didn't labor too much because he is due to pitch twice in one day. Here comes Tony Harris, the manager, out to chat. Haven't seen a move yet. Bennett, the next batter, is a lefty, and Donald Lutz is too. And there's the signal. Fanti ends his day with a pair of walks, and he leaves after 4+ innings. Started solid, ran into some trouble, and now he will ask his bullpen to pick him up. We have our first mid-inning pitching change of the season on Bandits TV, an Alderley Hire pitching change. Back after this with more on the Blue Sox reliever. You're watching Bandits.tv.
Careful, out there, champ.
How good is this?
Here's Reese, our handheld cameraman, who has stayed busy tonight, running all around the field from the dugout to the bullpen, providing these awesome angles on Bandits.tv. Brisbane on top 4-1. They have taken Nick Fanti out of the ball game. Fanti hadn't walked a batter through 3, but a pair of walks before the Battaglia homer in the 4th. 2 more walks to start the 5th on 8 pitches, and an Alderley higher pitching change brings Dean Aldridge into the ball game. Aldridge, 24 years old, a righty, will be asked to face a pair of lefties, TJ Bennett and Donald Lutz. Manager Tony Harris, I'm sure, would have liked to have kept Nick Fanti back in the ball game to face the lefties at the top of the Bandits order, but Fanti just could not throw strikes as he reached the end of his night. And it is Aldridge's turn, entering in a sticky situation. TJ Bennett 0 for 2, 2 grounders to the right side of the infield. Fanti 4+ innings, 4 hits, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. Right now responsible for 4 runs plus the 2 runners on base. Aldridge playing for his hometown team, and before he throws a pitch, catcher D'Antonio comes out to chat with him. Aldridge, a Sydney native, pitching in his 2nd ABL season, also pitched for the Blue Sox 1 game and 1 inning back in the 13-14 season. Lisa Norrie with us in the broadcast booth through the 5th inning. TJ Bennett steps in. Bennett swings and misses at the first offering from the righty Aldridge. Cameron McVeigh was warming. Now he is no longer throwing. That either means he is warmed up and ready to go, or with a couple of runners on, they're going to extend the leash of Tim Atherton. Atherton went 6 his first 2 starts, through 5 innings of 1-run ball here. The 0-1 to Bennett misses up and away. Right now the official box score has the run scored by Sydney in the 4th inning off of Atherton as an earned run. But because of the official scorer's ruling on D'Antonio taking 2nd instead of a stolen base, that was a caught stealing E4. That should be an unearned run. Not sure what oversight there is on that, but I'm sure Atherton will take a look at the box score after the game, and if there's something wrong, he will correct it. 1-2 the count to TJ Bennett. Andrew Campbell at 2nd, Riley Unruh at 1st. They each drew 4 pitch walks to begin this inning and get Fanti out of the ballgame. The 1-2 to Bennett. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Aldridge provides immediate relief, getting the first batter he faces on strikes for out number 1. That's a start. Here's Donald Lutz. Lutz 0 for 2. Grounder to 2nd, grounder to short. Now some more action in the Bandits' pen. And we will send our man in the East down there once more. Lutz swings at the first pitch, sends a major league pop-up back of 3rd. In foul territory, it lands out of play. Bandits with 4 runs on 4 hits. Blue Sox with just 1 run on 2 hits. Starting pitching has been great in the doubleheader today. No earned runs by my count on 5 hits in 10 innings between Blackley and Atherton. Lutz sends it in the air to left. It is caught above the head by Howe, and he gets it back into the infield. Seen Donald Lutz go out to right field. That was hit well to left, just to the wrong part of the ballpark. Well struck out number 2. And after entering with runners at 1st and 2nd, 2 batters later, Dean Aldridge has a pair of outs, and nobody's moved. Wade Dutton's put together a pretty nice ball game. 1 for 1 with a single, a walk, and 2 runs scored. First pitch swinging is Dutton. He sends a pop-up in foul territory down the first base line. And a basket catch made by Kemp. Kemp knew he had the short fence approaching, and he made a tremendous play as we take a look at the replay. Kemp going into foul territory, tracks this, calls, and catches for out number 3. Nice job by Dean Aldridge, and a nice job by Dwayne Kemp to record out number 3. Nice job as well by Lisa Norrie for joining us here in the broadcast booth for a couple innings. One more time, tell our viewers what you're going to be doing in the next week, because it's really exciting.
It is really exciting. Heading over to Vegas to be involved with the Major League Baseball Diversity and Inclusion for Women in Baseball.
Should be a lot of fun. Best of luck.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me in with you guys tonight.
Back after this on Bandits.tv.
It's always been you.
It's always been us.
Cameron McVeigh comes on for the Bandits, and another Alderley Higher pitching change. Tim Atherton in line for the win with 5 innings of 1-run ball. We believe that 1 run is ultimately going to be unearned for the righty. And in both games of the doubleheader today, the Bandits have gotten excellent starting pitching. Welcome back to the broadcast booth, our good luck charm, Paul Gonzalez. Gonza, you've been running around for the first half of this ball game, but what you were able to see, you have to be impressed by.
Absolutely. I got a chance to see it at ground level, and the other thing I got a chance to do is just see how much energy is in the crowd today. Just got reports. We had 1,347 attend, so it's an official sellout. So want to acknowledge the fan base and obviously all the baseball community for supporting us. Big turnout tonight. The club of the night was Pine Rivers, and they actually came in a busload today, so want to acknowledge them for a big effort coming out and supporting the Bandits.
High drive to deep left field off the bat of Gift and Gope. Back to the track is Ellis, and it's gone. Gift and Gope with solo home runs in both ends of today's doubleheader. He's got a pair as he hangs 2, rounding second, going to third. Gift and Gope has a lot of potential in that bat, and we've seen that so far in round 3.
Well, and we've seen it both times, and here's the pitch right here. You see the location up in the zone, and he absolutely tees off on it and drives it deep into left field, but that's his second one today off Cameron. So it seems like he's obviously locked in on McVale, and then obviously McVale now will have to bear down against the tough part of this lineup.
2, 3, and 4 again, and here's a drive off the bat of Jacob Eunice. This one deep to left field, but Ellis has room to make the catch for the first down. Not 4 hours ago, McVeigh came on in relief of Travis Blackley in the 6th inning, and the first man he faced, Gift and Gope, hit his first pitch out to right center field. And Gope goes deep off Cameron McVeigh twice. And now it's Trent D'Antonio. Back to the screen. Fouled 0-1.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's been a good game. I like I mentioned earlier, being at ground level, want to obviously thank Blackley for coming up and spending some time. It's always great to have his insight, and especially after a big outing. And then obviously Lisa came in and got a chance to catch back into that conversation. And what an exciting time for the Brisbane Bandits, not just on the field but off the field, with particularly around the continued development around women's baseball in Australia.
Trent D'Antonio with a 1-1 count. McVeigh delivers low, 2-1. Final line on Atherton is, we know it, 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. Should be unearned by the time the box score goes final. 1 walk and 6 strikeouts. And now 3-1 the count to Trent D'Antonio. If he reaches, the tying run would come to the plate.
That line on Atherton really was a telling. I mean, he pitched fantastic tonight. He didn't labor. He kept his pitch count down. He worked down in the zone and really showed a lot of command. Good pitch right there, just missed. But really his command was fantastic. And early in the season, when you see a power arm like that with his command, that's a good sign, for the Brisbane Bandits this year.
Here's Zach Shepard representing the tying run. 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts in Game 2 of the doubleheader. Struck out his last 4 times. 3 of them looking. Doubled his first time up in Game 1 of the doubleheader, but since then, strikeout, 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 strikeout. He takes a ball. Shepard swings and misses. Another arm warming in the Bandits bullpen. Man on deck, Michael Campbell is a lefty. Then after Shen Hao Wei, 2 more lefties in Joshua Dean and Alex Howe. It's Ken Frosch getting loose in the pen. One of 2 lefties at Dave Nielsen's arsenal. 1-2 the count.
1-2.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Out number 2 in the 6th inning for Cameron McVeigh. And the 3rd strikeout for Zach Shepard in the ball game.
Yeah, really good job right there. And same thing, you see the pitch in the location. Velocity is really good, but showing that command of the good fastball down in the strike zone, and that's where he wants to be. Obviously, when the ball gets up, they can do some damage, and he kept the ball down in the zone.
Michael Campbell is 1 for 2 with an RBI single his last time up. That tied the game at 1 at the time. Bandits answered right back with 3 runs in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Foul ball off the end of the netting, hit the post and ricocheted back onto the field right behind the pitcher's mound. And McVeigh rolls the ball out of circulation. That should have a nice scuff on it, right? Give him something to work with.
Absolutely. I've seen a guy where we had a ball that had a scuff and a guy tried to throw it the next pitch because the umpire didn't catch it. Guy hit a ball to right field, and the throw in actually had more movement and actually diverted from the home plate and weren't able to get the out at home.
Campbell with a roller right side off the chest of Unruh, and the throw to first goes wide. Campbell may have beaten it out anyway. Slow roller that almost snuck through to the outfield. Unruh got a bad hop as it caught the lip of the dirt heading out into the grass area. We'll see if it's an error or a base hit.
That was always going to be a tough play because it's in that area, but in that hole between first and second base. He covered a lot of ground, but then it caught that lip, came up on him, wasn't able to recover, but does get down the line really well, so I think it would have been a tough play if he came up with it clean.
Shen Hao Wei steps in. Pair of strikeouts for the center fielder in tonight's ball game. Before the first pitch, McVeigh looks back towards second, where D'Antonio is taking a nice lead. D'Antonio broke for second. reached second on a caught stealing error. And then on the very next pitch, when he was on in the 4th inning, broke for third. It was ultimately a foul ball. First pitch misses above the letters, a ball to Shen Hao Wei. They are ruling it a fielding error by Unruh. Now a called strike. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Foul tip into the mid of De La Calle.
Good pitch, good location right there. So he really pounded the outer half of the plate, and then he ran the ball in on his hand. So it really opens up opportunities for him. He wants to show him that split finger fastball that changed to expose him now that he got him cheating on the inner half.
Check swing, he went around, it's strike 3. Skyfleet Hino strikeout ends the 6th inning for Cameron McVeigh. Gifton Gope for the 2nd time today homers off of McVeigh, and the Blue Sox chip away at the lead. It's now 4-2.
It's always been you.
It's always been us.
The Brisbane Bandits lead the Sydney Blue Sox 4-2 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. Busy day around the ABL. In Melbourne, the Aces are leading Geelong Korea by a score of 11-5 in the bottom of the 5th inning. In Adelaide, a 5-2 edge for the Perth Heat over the Bite in the 3rd. Finals in Auckland, a doubleheader between the Tuatara and the Canberra Cavalry. Tap dancing around some rain. Auckland won Game 1 3-2, and Canberra won Game 2 by a score of 2-1. Both of those games completed early. Game 1 actually went to extra innings. It was a 7-inning scheduled ball game that was walked off by the Tuatara in the bottom of the 8th. Then the scheduled 9-inning ball game actually only went 7, completed early due to rain. Shu Ji-hung leads off the bottom of the 6th inning for the Bandits. And in case you are following along on game day and are wondering what the discrepancy is, well, there are a couple discrepancies between my scorecard and the official one, but the Bandits right now have 3 errors. Swing and a miss begins the at-bat from Shu. Dean Aldridge back on the mound, beginning his first full inning of work. Entered with runners at 2nd and 3rd, no outs in the 5th inning, and retired 3 straight batters to keep the Bandits off the board. Shu takes up and away. TJ Bennett was charged with an error in the 4th inning that led to one of Sydney's runs. If you remember, it was a little number with side spin off the side of the mound. Bennett had to try and barehand the ball. He came up empty. Hit hard on the ground. Nice pickup by the first baseman Shepard to his left, and he takes it to the base to retire Shu for the first out.
Really good job right there. We'll get a chance to see it on the replay. Ball hit hard down the line. Comes up with a good pick and then just legs it out for the first out of the inning, but really good job by Shepard to get to that ball.
Won't belabor the point, but suffice to say, 3 errors on the scorecard for the Bandits defensively, 2 from Unroe and 1 from Bennett. Atherton's run should be unearned. And only 3 hits on the board for the Blue Sox through 6 innings. Called strike to Ryan Battaglia. Battaglia took Nick Fanti deep his last time up, his first homer of the year, well over the center field fence. The 0-1. Battaglia ducked and avoided a beanball.
Yeah, nothing intentional right there. That's just a breaking ball that got away from him. Obviously, this guy throws pretty hard, so he just didn't get on top of his breaking ball and got away from him. So now he's sitting in a 1-1 count.
If it were intentional, it would have happened on the first pitch. The 1-1. Missing outside.
I got a chance. Mentioned earlier in game 1. I spoke to the owner, Adam Dobb, this morning. And he actually talked about this young man. Really a resurgence for him. He's come back and really started to find his command. But he's throwing anywhere from mid to high 90s at the moment. And that's really what they're trying to do, is work with him and get his command back, because he is an impact arm with his fastball.
3-1 now the count to Battaglia, with Mitchell Ellis waiting on deck. Aldridge delivers and misses wide, ball 4.
Tell you what, he's got a lot of life on his fastball, and if he can just stay within himself and probably just stay within his when we talk about Sam Holland saying within himself, probably got live enough arm. He could probably still only be from 91 and 94 and find the control. But it's good to see coming out here and letting it fly.
Here's Mitchell Ellis. Ellis an RBI single in the second, struck out looking in the fourth. Offers at the first and chops it foul.
I think when you look at across all of baseball now, it seems like 94 is the new 91 and 99 is the new 96, and it just the arms that are being produced through the minor leagues and in the big league level now are just extremely impressive.
Battaglia takes off, and D'Antonio can't make the catch. Uncontested steal of second base for Ryan Battaglia. He's playing right field tonight, but that's a catcher by trade advancing to second. Second time we've seen that tonight.
Yeah, look, that's all on the pitcher. When you look at a power arm like that, and I haven't got a time on him, he's probably a 1-4, 1-5 guy home, and anytime you get a slow delivery home, gives you an opportunity to really steal off the pitcher.
One to Ellis, hit on the ground right side, booted by Shepard, but in the right direction, straight towards the base. He picks it up, and no harm, no foul. He records out number 2, with Battaglia taking third in the process.
Yeah, good job right there. Got a little bit of a squirrely hop just on that ball right before it got to him, but did a good job of just knocking it down and keeping his composure, and that's what good young defenders will do. They don't panic, and they recover and able to get the second out.
Like a goalkeeper in football, a goaltender in hockey, sometimes it's about ricocheting it in the right direction, preventing the rebound from causing too much damage. Danny De La Calle takes off the inside corner, ball 1. 0 for 2 is the Bandits' right-handed hitting backstop. Grounder to third and a grounder to short. Ryan Battaglia stands at third base, 90 feet away from the 5th run of the game for the Bandits. The 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
Tell you what, it is impressive. He's bringing it tonight. So good to see a little bit of power on power, a little bit of old school baseball, like you mentioned in last night's.
The 1-1. De La Calle got a pitch up and sent it straight back. If the Bandits don't have to see Todd Van Stensel tonight, I think they'll be happy.
Yeah, look, he was impressive. He came in to shut the door last night in that tight ball game, but his velocity in his arm looked really good, and he looked sharp. So if they can avoid that'd be a positive. But on the other side of the coin, it'll be interesting to see what the Bandits do with this 4-2 lead here in the sixth.
They've used McVeigh now in both ball games, and De La Calle strikes out swinging to end the sixth inning. Ryan Battaglia stranded at third after the walk and the stolen base, and the Bandits do not score. We go to the seventh inning here in Brisbane. 4-2 Bandits on bandits.tv.
Can't you see my heart is lost without you? And your kisses make me love you more. And your kisses make me love you more. Can't you hear the sound of love and desire?
Bandits lead the Sydney Blue Sox 4-2 as we go to the top of the seventh inning in Brisbane. Alderley Higher pitching change sees Ken Frosch, the lefty, come on in relief of Cameron McVeigh, who allowed one run on one hit in his lone inning of relief. Frosch, 29 years old, pitched this summer in America in St. Paul in Indy Ball. And through 4 outings and 3 innings with the Bandits, he has not yet allowed a run. He's 1-0. And he will be asked to get a pair of lefties, Joshua Dean and Alex Howe, at the bottom of the Blue Sox lineup.
Yeah, he's been fantastic for David and this pitching staff coming out of the pen. And like I said, it's not an overpowering arm, but righties really struggle against him. And I think he hides the ball really well, and he's really deceptive on lefties with a lot of movement into left-handed hitters. And then obviously with that slider slurve that breaks away. So been really, really effective this year.
He has yet to allow a hit. He has walked 2 and struck out 4 in his 3 innings of work. And he delivers a called strike to Joshua Dean, who is 1 for 2 with a single and a line out to left. Dean, the DH, making his season debut for the Blue Sox. He swings and misses, and it's 0-2. Frosch, 175 centimeters. Wow. Thought he had strike 3 called on the outside corner, but Mal Mackay didn't ring him up.
Yeah, good location right there, and obviously just missed off the plate. That's what he does. He works in and out really well, and very seldom do you see him center the plate. Most of it is he works the edges, and he does it really well.
Got a guy who's not overly tall, pitching from the left side and from a bit of a 3/4 angle. Rolled on the ground and through to the right side for a base hit for Joshua Dean. He's now 2 for 3 in a Blue Sox uniform this year, and he may, in another world, be 3 for 3. Hit the ball hard all 3 times.
Yeah, I tell you what, he's good at bat. You know, he fell behind in the count, but he did a good job of staying in there on a very tough left-handed breaking ball and able to shoot that ball into right field for a leadoff single here in the top of the 7th inning.
First hit of the season off of Frosch. And now Alex Howe, another lefty. Righty Matt Timms is warming in the pen. On deck batter is the leadoff man Dwayne Kemp, and 3 straight righties after this lefty. Frosch may be playing the matchup game at the behest of Dave Nielsen.
And that's what David does well. He's obviously got his combination, and Timsy really is his right-handed specialist. Fastball, breaking ball, split guy. See if he has to make a move.
0-1, right down the middle for a strike. Bandits scored first in the second inning. In fact, they've scored first in all 3 games in this series so far. Mitchell Ellis with an RBI single, giving Brisbane a 1-0 advantage. Sydney tied it up with a run in the top of the 4th inning. 2-out RBI single from Michael Campbell. Bandits got a 3-run home run from Ryan Battaglia in the 4th after a pair of walks. Sydney added to the tally most recently in the top of the 6th inning. Solo home run from Gift and Gope, his second of the day. 1-2 the count to Alex Howe. Bandits hope the result is different, but this game feels a little bit like the series opener last night, in which the Bandits could not advance their lead out of reach, and Sydney just hung around until they pounced in the late innings. There's a swinging strike 3. Strikeout for Frosch, another Skyfleet, scoreboard had that bad. 2-2.
Maybe you will.
Get me once in a while. Got to trust our hailstorm guys. We had it right on here.
Absolutely.
Two-two. Line drive right field. That's down for a base hit. Tying run is aboard for the Blue Sox as Dean checks in at second after the single from Howe.
Yeah, really good job of hitting right there, and fell into a 2-2 count and got a breaking ball up in his zone and didn't get the one down and away. And Howe did a good job of staying on that pitch and shoots at the right field for. Now the Blue Sox are threatening with men on first and second and nobody out.
Dwayne Kemp stands in. Matt Timms continues to warm, and it looks like Frosch will get a chance to face at least one righty and get out of this mess of his own doing.
I've seen Timsy starting to heat up a little bit more, so it'll be interesting to see how deep David goes, particularly with the heart of the order coming up.
A bunt and a good one down the third base line. Shu fields and throws, and they get the out at first base. Nice play by Shu, on target throw. And we take another look at the Suki Bowl replay. That was Dutton, the first baseman, staying at first. And he got the right foot on the base. Not exactly how Tommy Mansky draws it up, but they get the out and a successful sacrifice for the Blue Sox. Dave Nielsen comes out to get his lefty. Ken Frosch allows a pair of hits, gets an out. Hasn't officially made the move yet, but there it is. We have a pitching change here at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. Blue Sox are a base hit away from tying it up again. Matt Timms comes on after this on Bandits.tv.
Careful, out there, champ.
How good is this?
Matt Timms comes on to try and prevent the Sydney Blue Sox from tying up this ball game. Bandits holding on to a 4-2 edge, but with one out in the 7th inning, Sydney has runners at second and third. Ken Frosch gets one out, is responsible for both runners on base after Kemp's successful sacrifice, and Gift Ngope, who homered his last time up, will be the batter that Timms faces. It's another Alderley higher pitching change. We've seen a lot of Matt Timms in situations like this, and he has done an excellent job so far. Yeah, he's really David's go-to guy in these situations. You talk about somebody that has probably one of the most even-keeled demeanors. It doesn't matter the situation. David gives him the ball, and he takes it. That's his. Nothing's really bothering him. He just goes out there and does the job. So, right guy, right time, and a tough situation with the tying run at second here in the 7th inning with the Bandits up by 2. Gift Ngope has a pair of solo home runs today, one in each ball game. Both of them off of Cameron McVeigh as the leadoff batter in the 6th inning. Ngope does not need a home run here. A base hit or even a deep sacrifice fly would draw the Blue Sox closer to tying this ball game or taking the lead. Timms pitched in last night's ball game. Scoreless top of the 9th inning, and he would have been the winning pitcher had the David Sutherland line drive fallen with the bases loaded in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Slow breaking ball for a strike, and Ngope, always animated, walks out of the box in frustration, disappointment, who knows. But that was a pitch that, had he been expecting, he would have liked to have taken a swing at. No, I think so, but when you see Timsy on the mound, he's a very big man and a big presence, so he's probably looking dead red, and all of a sudden he flips him with a little bit off-speed pitch, and that's what's deceiving, and he can rush it up there. Timsy used to get it up there in the mid-90s. He's probably lower 90s when he tops out, but he's got that fantastic split finger, and now he's got that secondary, that third pitch in his arsenal with that curveball now. Tim's now 31 years old. 3 2/3 innings scoreless for the Bandits, and he gets a quick strikeout of Gift Ngope for out number 2. And again, that's strike number 2. I thought that breaking pitch was a strike. Time called at home plate. When you talk about those big moments, and I think we had it last night, this is a big moment for Timsy and the Bandits. You know, he's got a tough hitter at the plate with men on second and third, and critical part of this ball game. So big pitch in this situation. Here's the 1-2. Another close pitch. Both balls in this at bat have been around the zone. Fans don't like it. Ngope hits it down the third baseline foul. Outfield at normal depth. Infield swung around a bit to the left. Ngope a pull hitter a bit. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. There's the strikeout. And Ngope goes down for the second out. Get a chance to see this pitch again, and it looks like that split finger, that breaking ball, and see how it backed up on him. And big pitch for Timsy and for the Bandits for out number 2. So he's still got his work cut out with him with Eunice at the plate, with men still in scoring position. Here's Jacob Eunice, 0 for 2, a walk, a strikeout, and a fly to left. Called strike, gets 0-1. Dean at third, Howe at second. They both singled off Ken Frosch. The 0-1. Missing low and in. The 1-1 from Timms, lifted foul.
Good job by Timsy right now, working ahead in the count, so it gives him an ability now to throw what he wants in this situation, sitting 1-2 with 2 outs.
Eunice stands back in. And Timms steps off. Popped up, foul territory, first base side. Dutton is over, but it's out of play. Matt Timms trying to get out of the jam. Another 1-2. High fly ball, shallow left field. Caught. Ellis makes the play. Timms gets the job done, and the Blue Sox strand 2 in scoring position in a scoreless 7th inning. Stretch time here in Brisbane. Bandits on top 4-2.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
No one knows what the future of transportation will look like. Robots. But no matter what, Enterprise can help. You can rent a car for a road trip. Look, kids, nature. Oh, wow. You can rent a truck for a move. You can buy a car, commute in a van pool, or get picked up because your car is in a pool. My bad. Count on Enterprise, no matter where transportation goes next.
Let's go.
I love the future. How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah?
Is it fun playing at festivals?
It's pretty good, mate. You get to see amazing places, meet new people. Everyone's just pumped to be there, and you get to do the sign-off.
Queensland, where life's beautiful one day and perfect the next.
Brisbane Bandits looking for the doubleheader sweep over the Sydney Blue Sox. They lead at 4-2 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. 1,347 the paid attendance, a sellout. Our thanks to the fans and the staff to make that happen. Second straight day of really excellent attendance here at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. An Alderley Higher pitching change brings Garrett Granitz in the game for the Blue Sox in relief of Dean Aldridge. Aldridge was great, allowing just a walk in 2 scoreless innings of relief. He stranded 2 inherited runners, and now Granitz comes on to face the top of the Bandits lineup. Looking around the league briefly, Melbourne has opened up a 15-5 advantage over Geelong Korea in the top of the 7th inning. In Adelaide, it is a 5-2 Perth Heat lead over the Bite. And then those 2 finals from earlier today in Auckland. Tuatara walk off the Cavalry 3-2 in 8 innings in Game 1. Canberra wins it 2-1 in the nightcap in a rain-shortened game. Andrew Campbell 0 for 2, drew a walk his last time up. He stands in against Garrett Granitz. Granitz, a veteran, 32 years old. Pitch misses inside, ball 1. 4 scoreless innings over 3 relief outings for Granites so far. Called strike, though it popped out of the mid of D'Antonio.
Yeah, a little book on him. He comes from the Atlantic League in the Indie Ball in Lancaster, and he actually taught himself how to throw from that submarine position. So you look at that arm action, knuckles almost drag off the ground. So almost like a rising action. I think Brett Cedar, who was a kid from Kansas City, used to come down from there from a long.
Your definition of a kid is different than mine. Brett Saberhagen?
Well, not Saberhagen.
I think he's old enough to be my dad. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A strikeout of Andrew Campbell begins the outing for Garrett Granites.
It's a really unique arm angle, particularly for Western style pitching. We look at the arm action here, and fingers are almost dragging off the ground. You see how that ball almost in a rising action into Campbell for the first strikeout. But you see it a lot in Asia, obviously. The Asian arms tend to throw from a very low throwing arm angle. But if you see this right here, he's almost coming.
Current ABLer Byung-Hyun Kim comes to mind.
Yeah, he's tough out of Korea, and I know you got a chance to face him in my career, and he's tough.
Closer for the 2001 world champion Arizona Diamondbacks. Made his season debut for Melbourne, I believe, a couple nights ago. Be fun to see him and all the big names that the Aces bring in a couple weeks. 2-1 the count to Riley Unroe. 1 for 2 with an infield single and a walk. Aces don't come here this year, at least not in the regular season. Bandits go to Melbourne December 21st through the 23rd for round 6. 3-1 the count with TJ Bennett waiting on deck. Unroe now 1 for 9 as he works back into playing shape. 3-1, hard grounder up the middle. There's an outfield base hit. Riley Unroe with a 2-hit game, and he's been on base 3 times tonight. He and his speed stand at first.
Good job of hitting by Unroe right there, and that's what I got a chance to talk to him in between games and just talk about, obviously long plane flight, adjusting to pitching, and even said, trying to do too much. You come back, play for Brisbane, and you want to come back, and he hasn't really had a spring training, but just doing that right there, just staying within himself, getting his timing, using the whole field. Good job of hitting right there. So I actually went back into my memory bank, and it was Dan Quisenberry.
Dan Quisenberry.
And you're right. He could be your father, but obviously as a young man, I watched Kansas City play when George Brett was there, and Quisenberry was coming out of the bullpen. He was very unique in that same kind of submarine arm action.
One of the first dominant closers in the closer era as they came into prevalence in the 80s.
But Saberhagen would have been playing at that same era too, but not that arm action. But Quiz was the guy that really early in the career in MLB came from this arm slot.
0-1, hit hard down the left field line. That's a fair ball into the corner. Rounding second, rounding third is Unroe. He's going to score easily on an RBI double from TJ Bennett. The Bandits get an insurance run in the 7th inning and lead it 5-2. Man, is it fun to see Riley Unroe run the bases.
I tell you what, he can fly. If we get a chance to have a look at that, TJ did a really good job. That's what left-handers have to do, tend to see that arm slot. They tend to pull and they get the roller, but you can see shoots the balls to left field down the line. Left fielder gets to it very quickly, but you can see as Unroe rounds third base, he is flying. Bit of a bobble there, but it would have been very, very tough play at home with Unroe's speed.
Donald Lutz is 0 for 3 today. Line out to left, a well-struck ball. His last time up, called strike. Time called at home plate. Bennett has pretty good speed, too. He's at second base now. Likely one base hit away to the outfield. Away from scoring another run. Lutz is early. He sends it over his dugout down the first base line. The 0-2. Lutz late with a protective swing, lifts it foul and keeps the at-bat alive. Another reminder that the series finale in round 3 is tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock local time. Not 2:30 as your calendar may say. First 150 kids through the gates get in free as part of the ConocoPhillips For the Kids promotion. Lutz with a base hit left field. Bennett had to hold up, and he will check in at third base. Smart base running from Bennett, watching it through the infield, but for the time being, it saves a run on the board for the Blue Sox.
Once again, really good hitting by the Bandits against a tough right-handed pitcher coming from that unorthodox arm slot, but not trying to do too much, but really staying through the baseball. And now, once again, the Bandits threatened here in the 7th with a man on first and third.
3 straight hits for the Bandits. Single, double, single. And now Wade Dutton's turn. You mentioned the name Dan Quisenberry. Was it Kent Tekulve of the Pirates in the late 70s? A similar arm slot?
Similar.
Kent had bigger glasses, though. Called strike. It's 0-1 to Wade Dutton. Dutton's had a nice ball game. Single, a walk, 2 runs scored. The 0-1. Missing badly up and away. D'Antonio has to come up out of his crouch to prevent the wild pitch and another run.
And that's one thing Wade really brings to this ball club. We've seen him over the weekend. He played right field, he's played second base, and he's now shifted over to first base, but he always gives that strong.
1-1, tapped up the line, foul.
Brings a strong bat presence from the right side, and when you start looking at how heavily weighted the Bandits are on the left side, still need to have that guy that can still handle the bat from the right side. He's done a good job for the Bandits.
Lutz at first, Bennett at third. Bandits with 1 run in already, looking for more. Dutton lifts a high fly ball into left field. Playable for Howe, setting up for a throw. He catches and throws. Bennett goes home, he scores, and Lutz takes second base. Bit of a hesitation from Bennett, but he scores anyway. And Dutton with a sacrifice fly brings home another run. It's 6-2.
Yeah, really good job of hitting right there by Dutton. Tough arm slot, particularly against a right-handed hitter, and able to get that ball in the air deep to left field to Howe. And good heads-up base running by Lutzy as well. So he's actually advanced on the fly ball, and he's tagged up from first base and put himself in scoring position here with 2 outs in the 7th.
Here's Shu Ji-hung. 0-2 with a walk and a run scored. Shu barrels one up and sends it into the gap in left center field. Down for a hit and off the wall. Scoring from second is Lutz, and into second, taking his place, is Shu Ji-hung with an RBI double. Bandits on top, 7-2.
Wow, another really good job of hitting by the left-handed batter here in Chi, and shoots the ball in that left center field gap, and once again not trying to do too much, staying through the baseball and firing up for a big 2-out RBI, now making it 7-2.
You said not 5 minutes ago that In Asian baseball, those side-arming pitchers can be much more prevalent, so the novelty factor not as big of a deal for Shu Ji-hung. He seemed quite comfortable as he laced an RBI double into the gap.
And normally for left-handed hitters, they do pick the ball up really clean out of there. They're obviously, when you swap it around on the left-handed pitcher, they're tough on lefties, but all four batsmen have done a really good job of staying through the ball, not trying to pull it, but shoot the ball left side of the diamond.
Ryan Battaglia hit a 3-run homer in the 4th inning that gave the Bandits a lead that they have not yet relinquished. Walked and stole second before being stranded at third his last time up. Big swing and a miss, 1-2. Home runs are fun. They're fun for broadcasters, they're fun for the fans, they're fun for the players. But this type of baseball is encouraging to see for the Bandits because they had been pretty one-dimensional through the first 10 games of the season.
No, I agree with you. I mean, everyone loves to see the home run and everyone comes to see the strikeouts, but I agree with you. Good swing right there and a miss for strike 3.
2 strikeouts in the inning for Garrett Granitz, but in between them, 4 hits and 3 runs for the Bandits. They have opened up a 7-2 lead as we go to the top of the 8th inning on Bandits.tv.
It's always been you.
It's always been us.
Matt Timms was sitting in the dugout saying, "Pour 'em on, boys." 3 runs in the 7th inning for the Bandits, and now a 5-run lead over the Blue Sox as Brisbane looks for a doubleheader sweep over Sydney and a spot at first place in the division. Timms got the final 2 outs of the 7th inning, stranding a pair of runners in scoring position, and he's out here to at least start the 8th with Trent D'Antonio, Zach Shepard, and Michael Campbell due up for the Blue Sox. With Paul Gonzalez, Eric Bramer with you. Thanks for sticking with us on this long day of baseball. For Bandits fans, it's been a fruitful one so far. Sydney took a thriller in last night's ball game by a score of 5-4. Bandits won 4-1 in the 7-inning ball game this afternoon, and now lead at 7-2 in the nightcap. Trent D'Antonio is 1 for 2. He reached on what was ruled an error in the 4th inning, came around to score. We thought it would be an infield base hit. He walked his last time up. First pitch strike from Timms, who needed 11 pitches to get those 2 outs in the 7th inning.
I tell you what, the first 2 ball games have been really, really tight. We haven't really seen either offense explode, so credit to the pitching staff, and really with the exception of that inning right there, the offensive bats really had been contained, so good job of making some adjustments. But overall, this has been a very, very balanced series between the Blue Sox and the Bandits.
1-1 the count. Lofted into left center field, down for a hit. Trent D'Antonio has a base hit to start the 8th inning. And the Blue Sox looking to answer back. There is Justin Erasmus warming in the Brisbane bullpen. Matt Timms, who worked last night, would like to get through this 8th inning, but if he can't, or if Dave Nielsen doesn't want him to, Erasmus is waiting in the wings. Zach Shepard, with 3 strikeouts in the game, stands in looking to put the ball in play. Swing and a miss, 0-1. That hit for the Blue Sox, just hit number 5 in the ball game. 3 Brisbane errors. Oh, 1, a called strike. Zach Shepard's in another hole. It's 0-2. The righty Timms comes set. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Skyfleet Hino strikeout for Timms, his second of the ball game. And for Shepard, a 4 strikeout night. Going back to game 1, he struck out in 6 straight trips to the plate. Tough to hit this. High, hard one, some gas up above the belt.
Yeah, good pitch, good location by Timms, and Shepard just couldn't keep the hands inside the baseball, and that's it's a tough night for him, but I know he'll rebound. He's a professional hitter, and he'll come back and battle.
Swing and a miss. Michael Campbell at the plate, an RBI single in the 4th. In total, he's 1 for 3. Reached on an error by the second baseman Unruh his last time up. The 0-1. Slow breaking pitch, misses the corner.
And that's what's so tough about Timms. He's a veteran arm and gives you those different looks, and you know, fastball sneaks up on you, and then you sit on the fastball, and all of a sudden he spins that one on you, and then sit on the off speed, and all of a sudden he blows one by you. So really tough as a hitter to make adjustments to him.
The 1-1. Same pitch, this time it clipped the corner, and it's 1-2. Bandits return home on round 5 to take on the Perth Heat. That is December 13th through the 15th. Night games Thursday, Friday, doubleheader Saturday. Next weekend they are in Canberra to take on the Cavalry. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts after the leadoff single, and Timms seems to have his best stuff again tonight.
Yeah, he looks really sharp tonight, and composure looks fantastic. So look at his location, right where Delacaya wants the ball, and actually hits his spots all night. So he's been spot on. Look at a little bit of time out and just have a chat with Timsy. Can't see where there's anything you'd want to change mechanically.
Talking strategy, perhaps. Erasmus continues to warm in the pen. That replay brought to you by Suki Bowl. And that strikeout was another Skyfleet Hino strikeout. 5th mound visit of the game for the Bandits. You don't see teams get that close to the limit as you see some fireworks going off out of our field of vision, but camera crews picking that up. Bandits have had their share of fireworks today. Looking to take 2 from the Blue Sox. Cold strike.
And you're spot on. They did have the moment of fireworks, and it was really good to see that part of the order really utilizing the whole field, staying within themselves, not trying to force the ball to the yard, and they put up a crooked number in the 7th.
Shen Hao Wei is 0 for 3 with a trio of strikeouts, and he's in a hole 0-2.
We were very fortunate this year to sign 2 partnership agreements. One was Empire Jerky, and I think they're getting their share out of that.
Yes, they are.
And obviously the other one is Skyfleet Hino. They've
strikeouts and home runs are the name of the game.
Exactly right. And we've also seen a few oddly higher pitching changes as well, so everyone's getting a little bit of love tonight.
Plenty of ConocoPhillips foul balls, too. Too many to name. Here's the 1-2. Lifted down the left field line, but turning foul and out of play. And while we're talking about sponsors, those first 2 games in Canberra are scheduled to be on ABL.TV. A reminder that the Newmarket Hotel, just a few blocks from here, is the place to go after these home games, and the Sporting Globe Chermside is the official watch party host of the Brisbane Bandits. One-two, cracked foul. Said this earlier today, and it's not set in stone yet, but stay tuned for updates on the potential to have a radio broadcast in Canberra next weekend for the final 2 games of that series. Trying to figure out a way to put that together and give our Bandits.TV viewers some listening options on the road. The 1-2. Base hit past the diving first baseman Dutton into right field. Rounding second and going to third is D'Antonio. Runners at the corners. Shen Hao Wei breaks the strikeout skid with a well-struck base hit to right field.
Yeah, really good job by Shea right there. He stayed through the baseball and shot it to the right side, and good heads-up base running by D'Antonio to put himself scoreless. It looks like David will make that visit, and he looks like he'll make a change.
Justin Erasmus is coming in. Matt Timms is coming out with the Bandits on top by a score of 7-2. Another call to the bullpen and an Alderley higher pitching change as Erasmus comes on in relief to get the final out of the 8th inning.
Careful, out there, champ.
How good is this?
It is the South African righty Justin Erasmus coming on for the Bandits with runners at the corners and 2 down in the 8th inning, protecting a 7-2 lead. Alderley higher pitching change in relief of Matt Timms, who got 4 outs, allowed 2 hits and struck out 3. He is responsible for Trent D'Antonio at third and Shen Hao Wei at first. Joshua Dean is the batter. He's 2 for 3 with a pair of singles. Erasmus making just his 2nd appearance of the season, 2 scoreless innings in his first, a hit, a walk, and a strikeout. In his ABL career, he's 14-17 with a 4.15 ERA. 9th season in the ABL, 8th with the Bandits. And a big out to get here. Joshua Dean, getting his first playing time of the season, has hit the ball hard 3 times with 2 hits to show for it. First pitch is fouled off.
Yeah, Josh had a really good night for the Blue Sox and had some quality at-bats against a tough left-handed pitcher in the last at-bat. So big opportunity for him to try to put a couple runs on the board.
The 0-1. Cracked, sliding stop by the first baseman Dutton, and he takes it to the base. Defensive play made by Dutton to prevent a base hit and get the Bandits' defense off the field. Erasmus gets the 3rd out of the 8th inning. We go to the bottom half as we take another look at Wade Dutton's defensive wizardry. 7-2 Bandits. Back after this.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than live sporting events. We have atmosphere. And we have more than customers. We have fans. It's more than a sports bar. It's a sporting globe.
No one knows what the future of transportation will look like. Robots. But no matter what, Enterprise can help. You can rent a car for a road trip. Look, kids, nature. Oh, wow. You can rent a truck for a move. You can buy a car, commute in a van pool, or get picked up because your car is in a pool. My bad. Count on Enterprise, no matter where transportation goes next.
Let's go.
I love the future. How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah?
Is it fun playing at festivals?
It's pretty good, mate. Get to see amazing places, meet new people. Everyone's just pumped to be there. And you get to do the sign-off.
Queensland, where life's beautiful one day and perfect the next.
The no errors diamond dash just completed. Always entertaining to see the young fans running across the outfield. Winner gets a no errors backpack, and here's the Suki Bowl replay of that diamond dash. A couple of the older kids have a distinct advantage there, but it's all about having fun, and looks like everyone's having fun, save for one or two who may have been goaded out there by their parents against their will. Mostly smiles, a couple grimaces, and a couple determined runners there picking up the end of the group. Buster, once again, comes up just short.
Tell you what, a fantastic initiative, and every year we get the chance to see, but great turnout tonight. And once again, we acknowledge the supporters of the Brisbane Bandits, and watching this fantastic team we see over the last 2 days, the Blue Sox, and now we can see why they're in first place and really setting the charge.
Sellout crowd of 1,347 tonight at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. And all smiles as the Bandits look to put the finishing touches on a doubleheader sweep. 4-1 the victory in Game 1, 7-2 the lead in Game 2 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. 8-9-1 due up for the Bandits. Mitchell Ellis, Danny De La Calle, and Andrew Campbell against the Sydney pitcher Shogo Nakashima. Alderly higher pitching change, and Nakashima delivers and gets a swinging strike of Mitchell Ellis. Ellis 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Garrett Granitz pitched the 7th inning, allowed 3 runs, struck out 2, 4 hits and no walks. Shogo Nakashima, right-handed pitcher. He delivers the 0-2, and a foul tip cannot be hung on to by D'Antonio. In fact, it got him in the thigh area, I believe. Nakashima, 26 years old. On the season, 1-0, a 3.60 ERA in 5 innings over 4 relief appearances. First ABL reps. Ellis takes low and in, 1-2.
One thing the Blue Sox have done in today's game, we've seen different styles of arm action, different styles of pitching, so they can throw a lot of different options at you, particularly at your hitters.
Ellis early on the 1-2, he rolls it foul down the first base line.
And then obviously when they need to go to the big guy, they'll go to Van Stensel and close it out, who obviously can bring it up in the mid to high 90s.
Ellis swings and misses. A strikeout victim for the second time tonight. And Shogo Nakashima begins his 8th inning and his outing with a punch-out. Suki Bowl replay. And that is a nasty, darting, diving pitch from the right arm of Shogo Nakashima. Here's Danny De La Calle. 0 for 3 at the plate is De La Calle, but he's called a good game behind the plate. Big swing and a foul on the first offering.
I agree with you. He's done a fantastic job, you know, in calling a good game. He does a good job blocking the ball. When I've seen him early on in the piece, you and I got a chance to see him in the first games when he really shoots the ball to right center and doesn't try to do too much. He's a very dangerous hitter.
Chase is low and away there on the breaking ball. It's 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back punch-outs to start the outing for Nakashima. That'll bring up Andrew Campbell. No action in the Bandits' pen as we look at the replay. Tough pitch to hit. Tough pitch to lay off of, too. No action in the Bandits' pen, so Justin Erasmus will start the top of the 9th inning. Not a save situation. Luke Van Meel got the final 3 outs of Game 1 this afternoon. Ball 1 misses wide to Campbell, who is 0 for 3 with a walk. Out ahead of the 1-0 offering, it's 1-1. Tomorrow's game is not on Bandits.tv, it is on ABL.tv. I encourage you to watch it nonetheless. It should be an exciting ball game. Misses low and in. Gons, you'll be on that broadcast, right?
I will. I'll be on the Andrew Reynolds obviously flying in from, he was in Adelaide recently, he flew into the Gold Coast today, and obviously he'll be on the vocals.
Ooh. Missing low and in, 3-1 with Riley Unroe on deck.
I think based on this series, you know, particularly Sydney will want at least, if they don't win this ball game here or come back and win this ball game, they'll want to at least go home with a split. So I think it'll be a very, very good head-to-head matchup in that Sunday 2 o'clock game.
5-pitch walk to Campbell, and the 8th inning continues. Interesting to talk to Andrew Reynolds when he comes in tomorrow as the lead broadcast voice of the ABL. He gets to see all these different teams. They were here on opening night, but a couple weeks later, I'm guessing he has a better picture of where the league is and where the talent is on these rosters. It seems like there's a lot of competitive balance among most of the teams. He's seen all of them in person, or most of them at least. Bandits will not have an easy path to a 4th consecutive Claxton Shield.
No, I agree with you. I think this is probably one of the strongest and most balanced seasons this year. Melbourne got a very good product this year as far as what they're putting out, and Sydney obviously has made a massive change on the diamond, you know, both and in the clubhouse, and you know, just the whole dynamics of the league have changed with the ownership model, and we still haven't had the opportunity to see a very, very tough Perth Heat team as well.
Perth comes here. It'll be our next home opponent in round 5. 1-1 the count to Riley Unroe. Unroe with a 2-hit ball game, an infield single, then a line drive right up the middle his last time up. Also drew a walk. The 1-1. Unroe taps it to first, fielded by Shepard, and that's out number 3 in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Bandits have a 5-run cushion as they turn to Justin Erasmus, looking to end the ball game. The Brisbane Bandits are 3 outs away from a top first place in their division. They lead at 7-2 over the Sydney Blue Sox, trying to put the finishing touches on a doubleheader sweep. Justin Erasmus is back out there. Bandits with a win would improve to 6-4. The Blue Sox would fall to 6-5. Canberra not far behind. They right now are a game and a half out of first. And Auckland, they are 3 games out. Paul Gonzalez, this is exactly the type of day the Bandits wanted to have, maybe even needed to have, after the demoralizing loss in the opener last night.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it was a tough loss. They jumped out to a 4-1 lead and weren't able to hold on to it. They didn't play. I don't think either team played great baseball. There was miscues from both sides, but it could be all the buildup of this rivalry, and now with the splits of the 2 divisions, and I think it's healthy for the league. You look at the other division. Melbourne Ace are sitting at 7-3, Perth Heat 7-3, and Adelaide Bite are 5-5, and obviously Geelong Korea is 2-8. But once again, another tight division. So I think the rivalry and the whole new build-up has been fantastic, and obviously there's still early nerves.
Alex Howe takes Lone away. The count is 1-2. Howe 1 for 3 with a single his last time up. He'll be followed by the leadoff man, Dwayne Kemp, and Gift Ngope. Erasmus got the one man he was asked to face in the 8th inning, retiring Joshua Dean to strand runners at the corners. And now we'll try and finish this one off. Grounder to short. Bennett with a low throw scooped out by Dutton, out number 1.
Bandits pitching this game. I mean, Atherton did a brilliant job tonight, but really the bullpen's been fantastic. A couple of mistakes here and there, but no real damage. And you look at the scoreboard, 7-2. Bandits pitching have really contained this tough offense.
First pitch on the inside corner, a strike. Dwayne Kemp is 0 for 3, dropped down a successful sacrifice bunt his last time up. That was when Sydney was trailing just 4-2. And it brought runners to second and third with just 1 down. Here he drops in a base hit down the left field line, fielded by Ellis. Single for Kemp, and that brings Gift Ngope to the plate.
Yeah, good job of hitting right there. Rasmus got that curveball up a little bit too much and able to shoot that ball in the left field for a single, but he's actually had a pretty good road trip this year. I mean, this series hit the ball hard. Haven't probably had as much luck as he'd like to, but he's actually been a fantastic addition to this Blue Sox lineup.
And on the topic of fantastic additions, Gift Ngope, batting .375 on the young season, takes a called strike. Ngope with a home run in each of today's doubleheader games. Tonight he's 1 for 4 with a solo shot in the 6th, a grounder to short, and a pair of strikeouts. Justin Erasmus delivers, and it's fouled back to the screen.
I'll have to talk to, and obviously Justin Erasmus' nickname is Bobby. I'll have to talk to Bobby and see if they've actually either A, played together, competed against each other in early in their playing careers. It's a good matchup right here.
Erasmus, 28 years old. Ngope also 28. Both out of South Africa. Ngope out of Petersburg, South Africa. Erasmus out of Johannesburg. The 1-2 bounced in the dirt. De La Calle gets it out in front of him, but couldn't find it. And in a 5-run lead, Kemp easily takes second base. That'll be a wild pitch, but in a situation like that, it's almost defensive indifference. Bandits far more concerned about getting outs than preventing extra bases. Erasmus now with 12 pitches, 9 of them for strikes. In tomorrow's finale, Bandits expect to send Coco Lynn to the mound. And Erasmus steps off to keep Kemp close at second.
I just quickly flipped over, and top of the 8th, it's 18-12.
Holy
Melbourne,
smokes.
Melbourne still leading that in the top of the 8th. So Geelong put up a 7 spot, a 3 in the 7th and 4 in the 8th.
And they're still batting in the 8th. The game's not over. Another one gets by De La Calle. Wild pitch puts Kemp at third base now. And the count runs full to Ngope with Jacob Eunice waiting on deck.
And in the bottom of the 5th, the Perth Heat lead the Adelaide by 14-5. So another big scoring game with Perth Heat putting up a 9 spot in the 5th.
Payoff pitch from Erasmus. Hit hard to deep left center field. And Gift Ngope has a 3-homer day. A homer in game 1 of the doubleheader, and now 2 in the nightcap. A 2-run shot for Ngope off of his countryman, and it's 7-4.
Tell you what he's shown us tonight is that he doesn't miss the fastball. If you try to think you can sneak it by him, he's got good hands on the fastball, and he's able to drive that ball deep to center field. That's his, as you mentioned, his 3rd home run of the day.
Suki Bowl replay. 3-2 pitch left up, and you cannot leave pitches there to Gift Ngope. Jacob Eunice steps in, and Luke Van Meel steps up in the Bandits' pen. The closer begins to warm, hoping he doesn't have to enter this ball game.
I think what we both saw, the mistakes that have been made are up in the zone to him, and I tell you what, he can do some damage on a high fastball, and normally you don't see guys catching up with the high fastball, and he's seen 2 different types of fastballs, and he squared all 3 of them up.
Eunice 0 for 3 with a walk. If he reaches, the tying run would be on deck, and that is the margin for what constitutes a save opportunity. More important than getting Van Meel the save is getting the Bandits the win. And the count is now 1-2 to Eunice.
And as you mentioned, Van Meel is up now, and you can always tell when Van Meel's up, he's 7-1, so he's up, he's starting just to lightly roll it over.
1-2 early, and it's lifted foul out of play. 7'1" for our Australian friends. Is quite tall in centimeters as well, 216 centimeters. And 118 kilos spread out over that body. Called strike 3. Eunice goes down on strikes. Another Skyfleet Hino strikeout. And the Blue Sox are down to their final batter.
Really good pitch by Bobby right here. If you look at his location, down in the zone after a really tough and good location for strike 3. So
first strikeout for Erasmus. And it will be left to Trent D'Antonio. Wow. Ball misses low, just low. D'Antonio has reached his last 3 times. A single, a walk, and what is right now an error on the shortstop TJ Bennett. Tough play by Bennett, attempting to barehand a side spinning grounder. He thought it would be an infield base hit. 1-1 the count after a called strike. Again, the finale of this series tomorrow at 2 here at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. D'Antonio takes another strike. Gets 1-2. Final strike time for the Blue Sox. Sellout crowd making some noise here in Brisbane. The 1-2 pitch. Hit in the air towards center. Playable for Campbell. He's got it. And the Brisbane Bandits sweep the doubleheader over Sydney, moving into first place. The final in Game 2, the Bandits 7, the Blue Sox 4. Starting pitching, home runs, and some timely late hits to open up a lead. That was the name of the game again today. After the tough loss last night, the Bandits emerged victorious twice today, and they will go for the outright series win and some first place cushion tomorrow in the finale. Finale at 2 o'clock on ABL.TV. Thanks for joining us here on Bandits.TV for a twin bill. Your final score in Game 1, the Bandits 4, the Blue Sox 1. Your final score in Game 2, the Bandits 7, the Blue Sox 4. Winning pitcher is Tim Atherton. 5 innings of solid ball. The loser is Nick Fanti. There was no save, and the Bandits are thankful for that. For my broadcast partner Paul Gonzalez and our 2 helpers in the first half of the ball game, Travis Blackley and Lisa Norrie, I'm Eric Bramer, signing off. Thanks again for watching, and catch the ball game in the finale tomorrow on ABL.TV.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars.
For our team, communication is key, both on and off the field.
Good afternoon, One Hub Group. How may I help you?
Yeah, I'm chasing a new phone. Okay, great.
One Hub gives us dedicated account management for all our technology. Having one point of contact makes a massive difference and lets us focus on what we do best.